used by the Kenya Tea Development Agency, commonly referred to as KTDA, and their impact on fairness and transparency across tea growing regions. The member for Marsabit County also has a statement that he will be seeking this afternoon from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing regarding the state of flooding and structural safety concerns at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The House about to commence its business, just a quorum hitch. But once that quorum is raised, then the business will, without any further delay, commence. And as we wait for the members or more members to make their way into the chamber and join their colleagues, and also for the House to raise that much-needed quorum, we shall continue to take a look at the business that they will be transacting. Nominated Senator Honorable Hamida Kibwana this afternoon has a statement that she will be seeking from the Standing Committee on Labour and Social Welfare regarding the rising cases of gender-based violence, that is GBV, and the need for a national framework to address the situation. The Senator for Kisumu County, Professor Tom Ojenda, will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing regarding the implementation of the National Affordable Housing Program. Well, the House is about to commence its business. The quorum is yet to be raised. The Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes. And this is to allow members to make their way into the chamber. At least 15 senators should be present. If that is not present, that means the House has not quorated yet. And being a House of rules, then it has to abide by its own rules and also be able to conduct their business. This afternoon also the senators, or part of the priority business that is lined up for consideration, is a motion by the Senator Honorable Veronica Maina regarding mainstreaming gender perspectives in legislative and policy processes. In this particular motion, the Senator is seeking to have the House resolve or to urge Parliament, county assemblies and their respective legislative committees to incorporate a gender analysis in the scrutiny of legislation, policies, programs, and bad governance. Also, in this particular motion, the first round of the quorum bell has ended. We need to hear from the Speaker to inform us whether the quorum has been attained also for the sitting of the Senate to commence.
Kindly take your seat. Clerk, you may call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Senator Faki, take your seat. We are waiting for you. That's the respect we accord you. Now, honorable senators, would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's gallery this afternoon, a visiting delegation of officers from various county assemblies who are undertaking a training program on parliamentary practice and procedure, focusing on management of committees of the whole at the Center for Parliamentary Studies and Training, CPST. The delegation comprises the following: County Assembly of Trans-Nzoia, Ms. Coletta Kisika, Ms. Lucy Kibonei, Ms. Maureen Lichuma Makete, Ms. Christabel Njumbia. County Assembly of Samburu, Ms. Nelly Rose Letuk, Mr. Daniel Lesiang, Ms. Mercy Letilipa, Mr. Joseph C. Lolemingan, Mr. Mkavana Mangoli Dida, Mr. Lenges Belan, Mr. Lesare Wycliffe, Mr. John Last Leturutu, Ms. Nanyu Letipila. County Assembly of Elgeyo Marakwet, Ms. Susan Cheboy, Ms. Gladys Jepkoech Komen, Mr. Kennedy Kimase. County Assembly of Mandera, Mr. Abrahaman Ezak Kasim, Mr. Suro Maalim Esak. County Assembly of Muranga, Mr. Joseph Mushemi. Now, honorable senators, on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will request the majority leader to extend a word of welcome to the delegation.
Mr. Speaker, I join you on behalf of my colleagues to welcome this delegation of members of, from the various county assemblies who are here in Parliament on a study tour with the CPST, the Center for Parliamentary Studies and Training, a premier institute, Mr. Speaker, which I regret that as a Senate, we don't use them as much as we should. If you see members of a county assembly come to train, sometimes they leave here better equipped than even us legislators, because I know the kind of content that CPST offers. I was a board member in that institution for 5 years last term, and I know that they have partnership with premier global institutions, and they offer that training at the CPST. I appreciate that these members of a county assemblies that are here continue to do so, to capacity build and ensure that they learn from this institution to better their skill as they apply their trade in our various county assemblies. I am certain, Mr. Speaker, that as they leave Nairobi, they leave better armed and equipped to serve our various county assemblies, Mr. Speaker, and dispense the knowledge and the wisdom that they have acquired during the duration of their study. I wish them well, and continue to urge all other county assemblies, Mr. Speaker, that haven't been to the CPST, that they are missing out on very, very useful information that is offered at CPST. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order. Yes, Senator for Nairobi City County, what's your intervention?
Speaker, with your kind permission, I just wanted to inform the majority leader that because part of the delegation is from Elgeyo Marakwet, and we had a very serious loss of lives there, maybe he records the message of condolence from this House to the delegation from Elgeyo Marakwet through your senator as well. Speaker.
Senator for Nairobi City County.
Yes.
I remember approving a statement on that subject.
Oh, okay.
And I know it will be read out by the senator standing by my side here.
Very
But
well, Speaker.
you can as well register your condolences.
Very well, Speaker. So let me just take this opportunity to the delegation from Elgeyo Marakwet to send our condolences, both as your countrymen, as the people of Nairobi, and of course the party that I represent, the ODM party, for the tragedy that has befallen you. We are together with you as your brother, your brothers and sisters, and through your senator, we will be extending a hand of help for all the victims, and we say pole sana, may they rest in peace, and may God be with the people of Elgeyo Marakwet. I thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay these papers on the table of the Senate today, Thursday, the 6th of November, 2025. These are the sugar General Regulations, Legal Notice number 167 of 2025, the Sugar Imports and Exports Regulation, Legal Notice number 168 of 2025, the Office of the Auditor General Annual Corporate Report for the financial year 2024-2025, Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Tharaka Nithi County Assembly Mortgage Car Loan Fund for the year ended 30th June 2025, Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kaguru Agriculture Training Center, County Government of Meru for the year ended 30th June 2025, Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Embu County Youth Trust Fund, County Government of Embu for the year ended 30th June 2025, Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Embe, I believe should be Embu, yeah, or probably should be Embe Water and Sanitation Company Limited from the County Government of Embu for the year ended 30th June 2025, Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Ngandori Water and Sanitation Company, PLC, County Government of Embu for the year ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Vice Chairperson, Procedure and Rules Committee.
My apologies, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the Senate resolves that during the long recess of the 4th session of the 13th Parliament, where any statutory instrument or paper is transmitted for tabling in the Senate, and the Speaker determines that the statutory instrument or paper is of priority, the Speaker shall forthwith refer the statutory instrument or paper to the relevant committee for consideration, and the statutory instrument or paper shall be deemed to have been tabled before the Senate, and the Speaker shall report the statutory instrument or paper to the Senate and cause the statutory instrument to be tabled in the Senate in accordance with the provisions of Section 11 of the Statutory Instruments Act No. 3 of 2023, and the paper to be tabled before the Senate at its next sitting. Thank you, Chair. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 52-1. Senator for Nandi County, the Honorable Samson Cherake.
Standard operation procedures. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to seek a statement on a matter of international concern and national concern, namely the exceptional performance of Kenyan athletes at the recently concluded 2025 New York City Marathon, one of the premier marathons. So, Speaker, sir, Kenya has once again demonstrated its global dominance in long-distance running, with our athletes securing top positions in both the men's and women's elite category, emerged victorious in the women's race, setting a new course record and reaffirming our status as one of the world's leading marathoners. Benson Kipruto won the men's race in a dramatic sprint finish, edging out fellow Kenyan Alexander Mutiso by a fraction of a second. Mutiso's second and place finish further underscored by the depth of Kenyan talent and the competitive spirit that defies our athletes. Sharon Lokedi, a former champion, also delivered a strong performance, maintaining the Kenyans' formidable presence in the women's field. Mr. Speaker, sir, these achievements are a source of immense national pride. They reflect the discipline, resilience, and excellence of our athletes who continue to elevate the Kenyans' profile on the global stage. Their victories are not only personal milestones, but also national triumphs and that deserve formal recognition and celebration. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is time that we as a country deepen our commitment to supporting our athletes not only in moments of victory, but throughout their journey. Their success is not accidental. It is a result of years of sacrifice, rigorous training, and unwavering dedication that they wake up as early as 5 a.m. to chase this glory. The government must play a more active role in appreciating and empowering these champions, ensuring they are recognized, rewarded, and supported in ways that reflect the magnitude of contribution to our national identity and pride. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenyan athletes are not only sports icons, but also cultural ambassadors who inspire millions across the globe, including Eliud Kipchoge. Their achievements bring honor to our flag and unite us in celebration. It is therefore imperative that we institutionalize a culture of recognition that goes beyond symbolic gestures only. We must ensure that their stories are told, their legacies preserved, and their welfare prioritized both during and after their active careers. Mr. Speaker, sir, furthermore, the success of our athletes should catalyze renewed investment in sports infrastructure. And you can see, for example, Talanta Ella Stadium, Mr. Speaker, sir, that has been proposed to be named Raila Odinga Talanta Stadium, coaching and talent development across all our counties. By nurturing young athletes and creating pathways to international competition, we can sustain Kenya's legacy in athletics while unlocking new opportunities for the youth empowerment and national cohesion. Mr. Speaker, sir, finally, let us honor our champions, not only with applause, but with tangible support and national appreciation. Their achievements are a reflection of Kenya's excellence, and they deserve to be celebrated as heroes and heroines of our time. Mr. Speaker, and to advise the House, at least every day, run at least 20 kilometers like me, so that you can see the benefits of running, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Honorable Senator Fernandez, whenever you get an opportunity, stick to the written statement. Please. Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to read a statement regarding the recent flooding and landslide that occurred in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make the statement on an issue of national concern regarding the recent flooding and landslide that occurred in Elgeyo Marakwet County on November 1st, 2025. Honorable Speaker, sir, I want to share my deepest condolences to the people of Elgeyo Marakwet County, which is my county, during this difficult, profound period of tragedy. Following the devastating landslides that struck our county on November 1st, 2025, affecting Kabetwa, Korou, Chesongoch, Mokil, Moror villages in Marakwet East constituency and Kipenda area in Kenya North. Honorable Speaker, this past week has been marked with overwhelming sadness. I grieve with every family that has lost their loved ones. The confirmation of 35 deaths from Marakwet East and 2 from Kipenda from Kenya North is a tragedy that has shaken us all in the country, Honorable Speaker. My thoughts are also with the families that have been affected by this tragedy. To those who were injured and are now recovering in the hospital, I send my sincere wishes for a complete and swift recovery, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the loss of lives, homes, livestock, and vital infrastructure is a very painful blow to the people of Elgeyo Marakwet County. I know that the scars of this disaster will run deep. Amidst this darkness, I have witnessed the inspiring courage and dedication of our multi-agency teams that are on the ground, and I must express my profound gratitude. When the landslides and flooding rendered major roads impassable, electricity were cut off, these dedicated men and women acted swiftly, demonstrating extraordinary heroism. Honorable Speaker, sir, I also extend my sincere gratitude to the government of Kenya, led by His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, for the prompt and swift response and the essential support we have received so far. I want to sincerely also appreciate the different ministries, including the Ministry of Interior, led by CS Kipchumba Murkomen, who is from the county, Ministry of Water and Sanitation, led by Honorable Eric Muka, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change by CS Deborah, CS for Ministry of Roads, CS for Ministry of Special Programs, Honorable Ruku, the Kenya Defense Forces, Kenya Power and Lighting Company, the Red Cross, the World Vision, and the different multi-agencies that are taking part in the rescuing process and lifting the injured and relentlessly searching for the missing persons and transporting food and diverse humanitarian support both by air and road, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank also the multi-agency teams who responded immediately to rescue those trapped by the debris and lifted the injured to hospitals, saving precious lives when the time was of essence. Relentlessly continued the search for our missing people. I also commend the leadership of Elgeyo Marakwet County and the tireless community leaders and officials involved, the work they did and continue to do to rescue our people and begin the challenge process of restoring services and infrastructure is commendable. Your unity and action has been the light in this dark moment. Honorable Speaker, I also want to thank all the organizations and individuals who have stepped up to provide humanitarian support. Your contributions, whether in the form of money, essential items, have brought immediate relief and comfort to the families who have lost everything. Your kindness demonstrates the true spirit of compassion and national unity. Honorable Speaker, furthermore, I also want to thank all the Elgeyo Marakwet County leaders who, despite being on official work abroad, swiftly cut short the travel due to the disaster, and they returned back home to condole with the people. They returned home in the shortest time possible to condole, empathize with, and support our people during this difficult time. Honorable Speaker, I also want to appeal to the national government and the county governments to provide temporary shelter as we look into long-term solutions of compensation and resettlement of the affected families. I want to request the Ministry of Health to provide medical care and psychosocial support to the affected victims and their families. This will ease the pain and help in the recovery. Honorable Speaker, as we move from the immediate rescue phase into recovery, the needs of our affected communities will remain immense. I urge everyone, the government, development partners, organizations, and every caring individual to continue supporting the people of Elgeyo Marakwet County in this critical time. Our collective effort is vital to help them rebuild their lives and communities. We will continue to pray for the affected families and work tirelessly to restore services, to heal and rebuild the communities. Honorable Speaker, also as Senate, I wish to appeal my colleagues in this particular house to come in and help in any way to help these people of my county. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, Honorable Senators, before we move to the statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, allow me, for the convenience of the House, to rearrange today's order paper pursuant to Standing Order 45-2 so that we handle Order number 10, Order number 11, Order number 12, and Order number 14. Thereafter, we will resume the normal flow as contained in today's order paper. Clerk, you may proceed to call those orders.
Order number 10, motion, welfare of interns working under the Public Service Commission. Resumption of debate interrupted on Tuesday, 4th November 2025. Question to be put.
Clerk, do we have the requisite quorum? Now, honorable senators, I will proceed to put the question. That are aware that the Public Service Commission has provided internship opportunity to many youths in various government departments and agencies for a period not exceeding 1 year pursuant to guidelines on management of the Public Service Internship Program of October 2019. Appreciating that since its inception, the internship program in Kenya has been instrumental in providing practical experience to graduates, enhanced employability, offered networking opportunities, and has a number of occasions led to full jobs to graduates. Concerned that internship opportunities are limited in number, skewed in distribution across government departments and agencies, lack clear pathway to permanent employment, have inadequate opportunities for skill development due to the short duration that they are offered, and that the stipend offered to PSC interns is insufficient, with an average stipend ranging from 15,000 to 30,000 per month, which is not sustainable, especially to interns living in major cities like Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, where the cost of living is too high. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Human Capital Development, in consultation with the Public Service Commission, reviews the guidelines to the Public Service Internship Program of October 2019 with a view to do the following. 1, increase the stipend offered to interns to cushion them against the high cost of living, and 2, put in place mechanisms to promote and reward innovation by interns. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 11, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. William Karugo Michael regarding the Changara Water Pan, a World Bank funded project in Busia County. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 5th November 2025, afternoon sitting. Question to be put.
Do we have the requisite quorum again? Thank you. Honorable Senators, I'll now put the question. That the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. William Kaguro Michael regarding the Changara Water Pan, a World Bank funded project in Busia County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 7th of October 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Francis Wainaina Njuguna Mbogo concerning historical injustices and illegal alienation of LR number 7151-1, 7153-2, 7153-R, also known as LR number 12825 in Kiambu County. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 5th November 2025, afternoon sitting. Question to be put.
Do you have the requisite quorum? Honorable Senators, I'll put the question that the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Francis Wainaina Njuguna Mbogo concerning historical injustices and illegal alienation of LR number 7153-1, 7153-2, 7153-R, also known as LR number 12825 in Kiambu County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, the 7th of October 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 13, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. James Mwaura Njoroge and other Nyandarua internally displaced persons concerning delayed compensation and occupation of parcels of land. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 5th November 2025, afternoon sitting. Question to be put.
Do you have the requisite quorum? Now, since this matter does not affect concerned counties, again, the voting shall be by voice, and therefore I'll proceed to put the question that the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. James Mwaura Njoroge and other Nyandarua internally displaced persons concerning delayed compensation and occupation of parcels of land which was laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 14, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mwananchi Self-Help Group regarding land ownership dispute of the Mwananchi Settlement Scheme in Mwatate constituency in Taita Taveta County. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 5th November 2025, afternoon sitting. Question to be put.
Do you have the requisite quorum in this one? Again, honorable senators, this matter does not concern counties, and therefore voting shall be by voice. I will proceed to put the question. The Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mwananchi Self-Help Group regarding land ownership dispute of the Mwananchi Settlement Scheme in Mwatate constituency in Taita Taveta County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We will now resume the normal flow as contained in today's order paper, which is the statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, Senator for Nandi County.
Mr. Speaker, I have two concurrent statements. If you may, you can allow me to read both. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the safety and dignity of police officers in the line of duty following the recent assault of law enforcement personnel by a foreign national in Diani, Kwale County. Mr. Speaker, sir, on 28 October 2025, a Dutch national by the name Mr. Elwin Terhorst was arrested at Boma Banda cottages in Diani after allegedly assaulting his Kenyan girlfriend and vandalizing property. Upon arrest and during detention at Diani police station, the suspect engaged in a violent and degrading conduct, including spitting mucus at female police officer, verbally abusing police personnel, and resisting lawful arrest. The incident, captured on video and widely circulated online, has sparked national outrage and raised serious questions about treatment of Kenyan police officers, especially in cases involving foreign nationals. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should address the following. One, the measures and protocols in place to guarantee physical and psychological safety of police officers during arrest and detention procedures, particularly when handling violent or abusive suspects, including foreign nationals, and indicate whether these measures were observed in the Diani incident. Mr. Speaker, number two, the actions taken against the suspect involved in the Diani incident, including any charges filed, court appearances or deportation processes initiated, and how the Ministry of Foreign Affairs engages relevant embassies or consulates when foreign nationals violate the Kenyan laws or endanger public servants. Mr. Speaker, number three, the support mechanisms available for police officers who experience assault, harassment, or trauma in the line of duty, and whether any such assistance was extended to the female officer assaulted in this case. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the safeguards and monitoring mechanisms in place to prevent racial or diplomatic bias in the administration of justice to ensure that all offenders, regardless of nationality, are held equally accountable under the Kenyan law. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the steps being taken to strengthen respect for law enforcement officers, enhance training for high-risk operations, improving public communication on justice and accountability, and advance legislative or policy reforms to protect officers from assault and abuse. Mr. Speaker, sir, with your indulgence, let me move on to my second statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on a matter of national concern regarding the pricing and quality evaluation programs used by the Kenya Tea Development Authority Agency, KTDA, and their impact on fairness and transparency across tea growing regions. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2025 KTDA bonus payouts have revealed wide disparities between regions, especially in the West Rift. KTDA attributes this variation in tea quality, yet concerns have emerged regarding the objectivity, consistency, and transparency of its evaluation methods, particularly the continued reliance on organoleptic, in bracket sensory, testing or use of tongue for people who don't get proper English, and the absence of independent oversight. In the statement, the committee should address the following. One, the criteria and testing methods used to determine tea quality across factories, and the safeguards in place to ensure objectivity and regional fairness. Number two, the role of organoleptic testing in KTDA assessments, including how the agency mitigates the subjectivity inherent in this method. Number three, Mr. Speaker, mechanisms are available for farmers to access feedback on leaf quality and to contest or appeal quality ratings. Number four, measures taken to invest in modern science-based testing infrastructure to complement or replace traditional sensory evaluation. Number five, Mr. Speaker, sir, reforms being considered to ensure that pricing and bonus structures reflect equity, farmers' efforts, and regional development goals, including support mechanisms extended to factories and farmers in low bonus regions, especially West Rift, to improve quality and competitiveness. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, before the final one, whether KTDA's pricing and quality systems are subjected to independent audit or oversight, and share findings from such audit over the last 3 years. Mr. Speaker, finally, platforms in place to guarantee meaningful farmer representation in the Kenya Tea Development Agency decision-making, especially on pricing, quality, and bonuses. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator for Mombasa County, Senator Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kwa mujibu wa kanuni ya 53(1) ya kanuni za kudumu za Seneti kuomba kauli kutoka kwa kamati ya leba na ustawi wa jamii kuhusiana na kucheleweshwa kwa mishahara na wafanyikazi wa shirika la posta. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika siku za hivi karibuni shirika la posta limekumbwa na matatizo ya kulipa mishahara kwa wafanyikazi wake. Hivi sasa shirika hilo halijawalipa wafanyikazi mishahara kutoka mwezi wa Aprili mwaka huu. Juhudi za wafanyikazi hao kutetea haki zao zimegonga mwamba na wakurugenzi wa shirika hili wameshindwa kutoa mwelekeo. Kando na hayo, Mheshimiwa Spika, na la kushangaza ni kwamba shirika hili limekuwa likiajiri wafanyikazi wapya katika muda huu. Katika kauli hiyo, kamati zingatia yafuatayo: sababu zilizopelekea shirika la posta kukosa kulipa mishahara ya wafanyikazi wake mara kwa mara, ikizingatiwa kuwa sio mara ya kwanza kwa shirika hilo kukosa kulipa mishahara kwa wakati unaofaa. Pili, hatua zinazochukuliwa na shirika la posta kusuluhisha tatizo hilo, ikikumbuka kwamba wafanyikazi hao wana majukumu kwa familia zao. Vile vile kuna masuala ya kodi za mapato na malipo mengine ambayo yanacheleweshwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, la tatu, sababu za shirika hilo kuendelea kuajiri wafanyikazi wapya licha ya kwamba shirika lenyewe limeshindwa kuwalipa mishahara wafanyikazi waliopo. Na nne, mipango ya Wizara ya Habari, Mawasiliano na Uchumi wa Kidijitali na serikali kuu kuhusu ujumla kuhusu shirika hilo, ikikumbuka kwamba serikali na mipango ya kuuza na kubinafsisha mashirika yote yanayofanya hasara. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator for Marsabit County, Senator Mohamed Chete.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I have two statements to read. I'll start with the first one, and it is on the request for a statement on retention of funds for construction in Marsabit County. The Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the management and disbursement of retention funds arising from construction contracts executed by the county government of Marsabit. Mr. Speaker, sir, retention funds serve as a critical financial safeguard in construction projects designed to guarantee contractual compliance, workmanship quality, and project completion. However, there have been growing reports of delays, lack of transparency, and possible mismanagement in the release of these funds to contractors. This situation has strained the relationship between the county government and the local contractors. And in some cases, Honorable Speaker, it led to stalling or abandonment of development projects. Therefore, in the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the total amount of retention funds withheld by the county government from various contractors from financial year 2018-2019 to date, including details of the respective projects and their contractual values. Number 2, the number of contractors whose projects are subject to retention, indicating those fully paid, those partially paid, and the specific amounts outstanding in each case. Number 3, the criteria and timeline used by the county government in releasing retention funds and whether these conform to the provision of the public finance management regulations and contractual terms. Number 4, the total balance currently held in retention accounts, the financial institutions where these accounts are domiciled, and certified bank statements as of the most recent quarter. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the number of retention accounts maintained by the county government and whether these operated transparency under the oversight of the county treasury and the office of the Auditor General. Let me read my second statement. With your permission, Honorable Speaker, request for a statement on the state of flooding and structural safety concerns at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA. So, Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of national concern regarding the recurring roof leakages, flooding, poor flooring, unhygienic restrooms, and recent safety audits findings at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. So, Speaker, sir, JKIA, being Kenya's main international gateway, is not only a critical hub for air transport, but also a reflection of our nation's infrastructure quality and international standing. Honorable Speaker, continued reports of roof failures, defective drainage, deteriorating floors, substandard restrooms, and contractors' negligence have caused significant operational disruption and raised concerns about safety, accountability, and prudent use of public resources. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the findings of recent technical and safety audits conducted by the Ministry of Transport, the Kenya Airports Authority, the Auditor General, and the relevant oversight agencies, indicating specific defects identified and the actions taken against the contractors or officials found responsible for substandard works. 2, the current status of all ongoing remedial projects, including landslide drainage improvement works, terminal floors rehabilitation and roof repairs, specifying project timelines, contractors' budget, the allocation and measures instituted to ensure transparency, value for money, and adherence to international aviation standards. Number 3, the implication of the 2025 International Transport Association and International Civil Aviation Organization Safety and Facility Audits reports on JKIA's operational ranking, particularly on runway integrity, firefighting capacity, wildlife hazards, and passenger infrastructure, and outline the corrective measures being undertaken to avert a downgrade of JKIA safety as service category. Number 4, detailed report on the state of passenger facilities, including conditions of terminal floors and restrooms, highlighting maintenance and standards, hygienic levels, contractual obligations of cleaning and maintenance firms, and the actions established by KAA to uphold acceptable service. Number 5, the long-term framework adopted by the government to strengthen infrastructure governance, maintenance accountability, and safety compliance across all airports managed by KAA, ensuring consistency with ICAO and IATA standards. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Hamida Kibwana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have 4 statements. The first one is regarding the psychiatric care, the state of the psychiatric care of the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the acute shortage of psychiatrists in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, mental health has emerged as a major public health challenge, yet the number of qualified psychiatrists in the country remains severely inadequate. Available data indicates that Kenya falls drastically short of the World Health Organization recommended ratio 1 to 10,000 psychiatrists to population ratio. Consequently, mental health institutions and public hospitals across the country are overstretched with patients facing prolonged waiting periods, limited access to specialized services, and in many cases, a complete lack of psychiatric support. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the capacity of medical training institutions across the country to train psychiatrists and other mental health professionals. Number 2, the integration of mental health services into primary health care facilities to ensure early detection, timely intervention, and continuous care. Number 3, working conditions, remuneration, and incentives for mental health practitioners to enhance recruitment, motivation, and retention. Finally, partnership with universities, professional associations, and international organizations to promote research, training, and capacity development in psychiatry. I thank you. I'll read the second one, Mr. Speaker. The plight of stranded Kenyan youth in Russia. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding the plight of stranded Kenyan youth who travel to Russia in search of employment and better opportunities, but who are instead coerced and deceived into joining the Russian military. Mr. Speaker, sir, young Kenyans were recruited by unlicensed agents under the guise of lucrative job placements and educational opportunities in Russia. Upon arrival, many found themselves without the valid documentation, legitimate employment, or financial means to return home. Disturbingly, reports suggest that some of these youth have since been compelled through deception, coercion, or financial desperation to enlist in the Russian military, with some reportedly deployed to active conflict zones.
In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, actions taken by the government to regulate foreign recruitment agencies to ensure only licensed and credible organizations are permitted to operate in Kenya. Number two, whether the ministry has instituted public awareness campaigns to caution youth against fraudulent job offers and verified overseas employment opportunities. Number three, response mechanism in place in Kenya consular services, including the availability of emergency and evacuation services in host countries to safeguard citizens in distress. Finally, strategies in place to revitalize local employment and youth empowerment programs and to address the economic vulnerabilities that derive young people into taking such high risks. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll go to the next one. This is it is the ongoing construction activities along Langata Link Road despite court orders. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the ongoing construction activities along Langata Link Road in Nairobi County, despite existing orders issued by the National Environment Tribunal, NET. Mr. Speaker, sir, construction activities continued on land reference number 209-19901, 19905, 19110, 20432, 20428, 20427, 20446, 20447, 20481, and 12875/108, located along Langata Link Road in Nairobi County, despite existing orders of the issued of the National Environment Tribunal, NET, in appeal of NET Appeal number 8 of 2025, Dennis Wanjao Wadhira Swing as chairperson of Phenom Residents Association versus the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, and registered trustees of Sri Kach Satsang Swaminarayan Temple Trust. Through its orders on the 9th June 2025, the tribunal granted a temporary injunction restraining further construction pending the determination of the substantive application dated 16th May 2025. Despite being duly served, the respondents have reportedly continued with construction in open defiance of the tribunal's directive, raising serious concerns about the enforcement of environmental and judicial orders and the broader implications for the rule of law and public confidence in regulatory institutions. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the ownership and current status of the parcel of land questioning, including details of approvals or permits granted to the ongoing construction, the developers involved, and the environment impact has been initiated against the parties involved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll go to the last one regarding the rising cases of gender-based violence, GBV, and the need for a national framework to address it. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the rising cases of gender-based violence and the need for a national framework to address it. Mr. Speaker, sir, a brutal assault was recently reported in Narrow Country, where a pregnant woman was attacked on Friday, 26 September 2025, by 4 men, reportedly her brothers, for defying her family's choice of the man to marry her. This shocking incident underscores the persistence of harmful cultural practices, discrimination and violence against women and girls, and highlights the urgent need for a strong and coordinated national response to GBV. Despite the establishment of the Nancy Baraza-led National Task Force and femicide, a comprehensive national framework has yet to be tabled before Parliament for scrutiny and adoption. Survivors of GBV continue to face intimidation, stigma, lack of protection, and inadequate support services, while perpetrators often act with impunity. There is therefore an urgent need for a clear and practical framework that ensures accountability, coordinated enforcement, and comprehensive protection for survivors. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the status of the National Task Force on GBV framework, including when its report is expected to be tabled before Parliament for consideration. Number two, the measures in place by the State Department for Gender and Affirmative Action to establish safe houses and shelters for survivors in at risk of GBV-prone areas, and the current status of GBV response units in police stations, hospitals, and schools. Number three, the role of Ministry of Health, the National Police Service, and county governments in ensuring accessible survivor support services, including medical, psychosocial, and legal, at eliminating harmful cultural practices that perpetuate GBV. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Senator for Kisumu County, the Honorable Professor Tom Ojienda. That statement is dropped. Senator Karenyamu. At first, Senator Ojienda had two statements. Both statements are dropped. Honorable Senator Karenyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization, and Tourism on a matter of national concern regarding the widespread sale of counterfeit alcoholic beverages in licensed outlets across the country. Mr. Speaker, unlike illicit brews, this crisis involves fake versions of genuine licensed brands, fraudulently packaged and sold as authentic brands. Counterfeits are replicating branded packaging and affixing falsified Kenya Bureau of Standards stickers and excise duty stamps to deceive consumers. As a result, unsuspecting Kenyans are exposed to toxic substances, leading to cases of poisoning, permanent injury, and even death. The situation jeopardizes not only consumer safety, but also the integrity of compliant manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. In the statement, the committee should address the following. One, the scale and economic impact of counterfeit liquor on legitimate producers and distributors, and its health consequences for consumers. Measures by the KRA, Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, and Kenya Police Service to detect, trace, and eliminate counterfeit alcohol. Enforcement strategies, including arrests, prosecutions, and penalties imposed on plans by the ministry to strengthen interagency coordination, enhance technological tracking of excise duty stamps, and conduct public awareness campaigns to safeguard consumers, restore trust in regulatory system. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator James Lemonen, the Senator for Turkana County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have a request for a statement on the harassment and killing of fishermen by the Kenya Wildlife Service officers in Lake Turkana. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the harassment and killing of fishermen by Kenya Wildlife Service officers in Lake Turkana, allegedly in the course of anti-poaching operations over restricted areas of Lake Turkana. Mr. Speaker, sir, fishermen operating along Turkana have been subjected to harassment and in some cases fatal encounters at the hands of Kenya Wildlife Service officers. during anti-poaching operations in areas designated as restricted. These actions have occurred in absence of public sensitization or clear demarcation of the said zones, leaving local communities vulnerable to enforcement measures they do not fully understand. This situation has not only endangered lives, but also disrupted vital economic activity for the region. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The number of fishermen who have been arrested and those killed by KWS officers in Lake Turkana from the year 2020 to date, and the circumstances surrounding each incident. 2. Whether the actions of KWS officers responsible for these arrests are death and thus were subjected to administrative review, and if so, present the findings and outcomes of such reviews. 3. The reasons for failure by KWS to undertake public awareness and sensitization campaigns on restricted zones within Lake Turkana, and indicate whether there are plans in place to address these communication gaps. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Osotsi.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to request for a statement on the ongoing dismissal of county employees in Vihiga County following payroll irregularities. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on the matter of county-wide concern regarding the ongoing dismissal of over 500 employees by the county government of Vihiga arising from payroll irregularities covering the period between 2019 and 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, a payroll reconciliation exercise was undertaken by the County Executive of Vihiga, which revealed anomalies in the payment of salaries and allowances, with some employees being overpaid while others being the County Public Service Board, upon which the executive recommended the dismissal of the employees across 3 departments of health, public service, and finance. Consequently, over 60 employees, including junior and middle-level officers, have already been issued with dismissal letters, while the accounting officers in charge of public service, finance, and human capital, who bear overall responsibility under Regulation 22(1)B of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulation 2015, have not been affected. This is contrary to the requirement that accounting officers be accountable to their county assembly for establishing and maintaining effective financial management controls and systems. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Office of the Auditor General, in a special audit report on the payroll management of the County Executive of Vihiga that was published in July 2025, made the following findings. 1, misalignment between the budget vote heads in the IPPD and the HRSKE system and approved budgets. Inconsistencies between the budgetary allocation and actual expenditure, irregular posting of salaries between vote heads in IPPD and IFMIS, unsupported payment of arrears amounting to Kenya shillings 3,117,000, salaries paid above prescribed rates, cases of overpayment and underpayment, data integrity issues, weak internal controls, lack of internal audit mechanisms, and discrepancies between the designation in the payroll and the approved staff establishment. Further, neither the reconciliation report nor the Auditor General's report were tabled and debated in the County Assembly, thereby denying the Assembly an opportunity to exercise the oversight mandate. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the contents of the payroll reconciliation report for the period 2019-2020, including why the same was not shared with affected employees in line with the fair administrative action principle. 2, the total number of affected employees, their designations, amount overpaid and underpaid, the criteria used in determining culpability, including how the affected employees allegedly contributed to the fraud and the inconsistencies. 3, the specific action taken against the accounting officers and the responsible departmental heads in line with the Regulation 22(1)B of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulation 2015. 4, the legal and administrative justification for requiring employees to refund alleged overpayments while simultaneously issuing dismissal letters, and whether these constitute double jeopardy and unfair labor practice. 5, whether the County Public Service Board has commenced recruitment to replace the dismissed employees despite the existing freeze on employment and the legal basis for such action. And lastly, 6, steps taken by the county executive and the county's Public Service Board to implement the findings and the recommendations of the Auditor General report that was published in July 2025, including measures to prevent recurrence, and whether in light of the reports not being properly canvassed in the County Assembly, the board could rescind the decisions on the dismissals until the County Assembly is seized of the matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for a statement on the provision and mobilization of grain dryers during the ongoing rainy season. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on a matter of national concern regarding the provision and mobilization of grain dryers during the ongoing rainy season and the measures being taken to mitigate post-harvest losses in maize growing regions. Mr. Speaker, the country is currently experiencing heavy rainfall that coincides with the maize harvesting season, particularly in major producing counties such as Uasin Gishu County, Trans Nzoia, Bungoma, Nandi, Kakamega, Elgeyo Marakwet, and parts of Nakuru. The ongoing rains pose a serious threat to the quality and safety of harvested maize, as high moisture content increases the risk of post-harvest losses and aflatoxin contamination. Although the government has previously invested in procurement of grain dryers in several counties, there remain widespread concerns regarding the adequacy, distribution, functionality, and accessibility, particularly in high production regions where demand for drying facilities is most critical. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the total number, status, and distribution of government-owned and operational grain dryers across the country. 2, whether the Ministry of Agriculture has put in place measures to mobilize dryers located in non-maize producing counties to supplement those in major production zones during this rainy season. 3, the short-term interventions being implemented to enable farmers to safely dry and store maize harvested under wet conditions. 4, the long-term strategies established by the Ministry of Agriculture to equitably distribute, regularly maintain, and make the grain dryers accessible in all major maize-producing regions. Thank you. And finally, Honorable Speaker, the role of county governments and National Cereals and Produce Board in facilitating post-harvest management, including logistical support, for the movement and utilization of these dryers.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 57, the Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, not to get ahead of myself, but once I'm done with this, can I commence also comments on the earlier statements, if you permit, Mr. Speaker?
Just read your statement, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, why are you making my enemies happy? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a statement pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1 to present the business for the week that will commence on 11th of November, 2025. The legislative business before the Senate is as follows. 62 bills are pending conclusion, of which 44 are the second reading, 15 are the committee of the whole, and 3 at the first reading stage, of which 1 is on schedule in today's order paper. There are 35 motions, Mr. Speaker, that are pending conclusion. 19 petitions are currently pending conclusion, out of which 15 are actually due for reporting. Mr. Speaker, I continue to urge the chairpersons of those committees that have petitions that are due for reporting to expedite and bring reports. I must note, Mr. Speaker, that today we moved fairly well and have actually cleared about 4 reports from the various committees by way of voting. So I want to commend the chairpersons that process that work and urge the rest, the 15 of them, that we consider them. There are 472 statements, Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 that are being considered by the standing committees. As senators, you might be aware, at orders number 10 to 14, there are several motions. We actually have spoken to that, Mr. Speaker. Further, at order number 20, the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2025, has been listed for consideration, Mr. Speaker, of the National Assembly amendments. This is an important financial instrument that will facilitate additional funding to county government's operation. It goes without saying that we need to give this matter utmost priority. Mr. Speaker, I must say that I am disappointed, allow me to say this, because we have tried to process this business from Tuesday, but we cannot seem to raise the requisite number. In fact, somebody was asking me this week, why do people fight so hard to come to this house, Mr. Speaker? If you deny them party tickets, they can almost destroy you. But then once you've been elected, we can't find it to pass business. It's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. This county government additional allocation, there is no amount of money, Mr. Senator Alwale, that will make people do their work. It's the passion. You have to appreciate. Mr. Speaker, some of us, in fact, if I was to confess, Mr. Speaker, I'm supposed to be on paternity leave, but I've been on work the whole of this week because I know how important this work is, Mr. Speaker. But you can't find people, Mr. Speaker, to come.
What is your point of order, Senator Boni?
Standing Order number 105. Did you hear the leader of the majority announce that he's being denied an opportunity to go on maternity leave? Could he prove that he's pregnant, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, laymen are shouting, Mr. Speaker, and they don't know that pregnancy is carried by women in this country. Are you suggesting leader of the majority is a woman? And if he is, Mr. Speaker...
Order. Senator Boni, that laughter speaks a lot. And that's what I'll use to make my ruling. You're totally out of order. Proceed, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know what Senator Boni Alwale had for lunch, Mr. Speaker. I saw him taking some colorless liquid, which I assume to be water. but now that he's not hearing me well, Mr. Speaker, I may be tempted to believe that it may be some of the favorite drink I see him enjoy over the weekend before bullfighting. Mr. Speaker, on Tuesday next week, which is the 11th of November 2025, after the SBC meets to consider the business of the week, we shall be proposing to the House various critical bills that have also been part and parcel of our legislative journey this session. Mr. Speaker, I've just had a meeting with the chairperson of Agriculture Committee. They are representative of coffee farmers in this House. We have tried to do the coffee bill for the last 2 years. It is now at the mediation stage. And I want to plead with members of the mediation committee, Senator Catherine Muma and the rest of your colleagues, that avail yourself. It will be a travesty of justice of the greatest proportion if we break for the long recess without concluding on the coffee bill. Our farmers are waiting for this bill because it is transformational and it helps them earn better and manage this sector better, Mr. Speaker. For the last 2 years, that bill has been between both houses of parliament, and it is now finally in the mediation committee. Our cooperatives bill, Mr. Speaker, another very important piece of legislation. We all know at least a representative or members of cooperative societies back in our villages. At least any representative of the people in this House knows a few members of our SACCOs. And you know the challenges that our SACCOs continue to face. The law that is in use presently, Mr. Speaker, is a 2005 law. It is not even in conformity with the new constitution. We have done a lot of work on that particular bill, but cannot conclude on it until we raise the requisite quorum. I want to plead with you members that please let us try and conclude on this bill for the sake of the people that we represent in this House, Mr. Speaker. There is a Technopolis bill, Mr. Speaker, that include the setting up of regional hubs like Konza City and the rest that are in line, Mr. Speaker. I want to request that members find the time that we come and conclude on that business. On Wednesday, Mr. Speaker, during question time, we shall have the Minister for Gender, Minister for Public Service and Special Programs, the CS for National Treasury, who shall be responding to questions by various members. I want to request, Mr. Speaker, that that we actually find the time to come and interact with this cabinet secretaries, Mr. Speaker. The last 2 weeks have been very interesting listening to that particular session, and I want to appreciate the colleagues that take time to come and grill our ministers and make sure that they respond to the representatives of the people. We had the Minister for Health last week. This week we spent quite some time with the Minister for Interior, who actually did not conclude on the list of questions. We shall reschedule for those members whose questions were not considered during that session. But next week, those are the ministers. There are various bills, Mr. Speaker, that are the second reading stage, very important bills as well, which I hope that we can conclude on, Mr. Speaker, including an amendment to the PFM. I'm not sure we can conclude on that, but it's an important amendment, Mr. Speaker, that will grant this House adequate time to consider the BPS, Budget Policy Statement. Remember, we only have 14 days upon the laying of the Budget Policy Statement by 14th of February, most of the time, when we resume, and by the 28th, which is 2 weeks after that, all our committees are supposed to have considered, listened to, engage stakeholders, Mr. Speaker, and bring a report to this House. Sometimes that time is too limiting, and we end up, Mr. Speaker, not doing the right thing. There are certain things which I believe, if we were to take a decision at the BPS level, Mr. Speaker, and I can give an example off the top of my mind. For example, if we made a decision as a House, I saw somebody, I think it was Senator Amida, or I don't know who it was, yesterday requesting for a statement on payments to CHPs, community health promoters. Mr. Speaker, we should just include it in our BPS and tell the National Treasury that this year, the next financial year, Mr. Speaker, we shall not allow this business of partial payment, 50% by county governments and 50% by the national government. We should send all that money in its entirety to the county governments. Then governors can pay these people. And so many other things that we can do at BPS level. There is that amendment that is before this House, which I believe next week, should time allow, Mr. Speaker, we need to move, conclude on it, and hopefully that can allow us a better interaction with BPS next year. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, that is a conclusion of the statement. I want to request that we find time next week to consider all that business. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, it's just something that I want to add to this House. I have observed with a lot of disturbance, Mr. Speaker, that occasionally when our committees visit the counties, as they do every weekend, tomorrow there are committees that are going to different parts, that we conduct ourselves in a way, Mr. Speaker, that represents the august house that we are. There was an altercation last week, I don't know it was in which county. Previously, I saw one in Kakamega. Mr. Speaker, I don't feel that that is a good representation of us as a house. I want to urge members that even as we do our work, Mr. Speaker, let us do it in a way that people will represent county visits as they should. With those very many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I thank you and request to lay the statement of the House. Thank you.
Now, I will allow comments for not more than 15 minutes on these statements. If you have an opportunity to speak, kindly, honorable senators, let us not take more than 3 minutes. The honorable senator for Nairobi City County. Not more than 3.
Speaker, allow me to comment on the statement sought by the nominated Senator Amida Kibwana regarding the development on Langata Link Road. Speaker, you know they say that the price of democracy and freedom is eternal vigilance. But I have continued to argue that the levels of impunity that have been achieved in this country right now, it is now becoming overwhelming. I think we need to fix this country, Honorable Speaker. The subject parcel in question, Speaker, and if you see the persons who are being accused of doing these constructions, even in the face of an order of the Environment Tribunal, is actually a registered religious trust. This is a religious institution of the Hindu faith. Can you imagine, Honorable Speaker, we have gotten to a place where now even religious institutions have the audacity to not only go against court orders or orders of tribunals, but, Honorable Speaker, the information we have is that even that piece of land, and if you just look at the satellite image of that piece of land, the shape of that land tells you that parcel of land cannot be titled. We have information that, in fact, that is a sewer line, Honorable Speaker. But they have found the strength to be able to begin construction on that piece of land, despite the fact that there is an ongoing case. It speaks strongly to the state of the rule of law in this country, that somehow now everybody believes the country is a free for all. Everybody is grabbing things. Honorable Speaker, as a senator of Nairobi, I am overwhelmed. I came here one time and I said, Nairobi is under siege from land grabbers. Honorable Speaker, you will wake up today. Yesterday here, we were discussing Jamhuri Park. If it's not Jamhuri Park, it's Makongeni. People are being evicted there. There's supposed to be some affordable housing. Nobody wants to listen to the residents. Nobody cares anymore. It will be Makongeni today, tomorrow it will be Woodley. If we finish Woodley, now we are on Phenom Estate, on Langata Link Road. Then another time it's Ngong Road, Sanctuary Forest, somebody has decided to put something in there. Before you know it, it's Karura, Honorable Speaker. We are being overworked as Democrats in this country, which is why we are saying we need to fix the country. Somehow a signal has been sent, I don't know from where, that now the countries are free for all. Speaker, we must insist that we are a country run by rule of law. We must find opportunities for us to deal with this impunity in this country. And the only way I suspect we are going to be able to win this war, Honorable Speaker, we need to get in place a government that will insist on the rule of law, a government that will end impunity, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, really, because they say the fish rots from the head, the way we are going, Honorable Speaker, the whole country now is rotten. We must fix the head. We must fix the head, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, even organizations that were hitherto very humble and harmless organizations like Shri Kuch Satsang, Swaminarayan Temple Trust, whose job was just to build temples and schools, are now also agitators against Kenyans and Nairobians on the use of land and obedience of court orders. Yesterday, Senator Chute was complaining about soup camp as well, Honorable Speaker. So for me, my cry to Kenyans is this. Yes, we are vigilant, but we are being overworked. We are being overworked.
The Senate Majority Leader. Senate Majority Leader, give the Nairobi City Council Senator 30 seconds to conclude his thoughts.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, they know why they are being afraid of the things that I want to say. But I have said,
you're using the 30 seconds.
Yes, in those 30 seconds, I am telling Kenyans we have the solution. We need to put in place a government that respects the rule of law, that will encourage everyone to obey court orders. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I also want to speak on that statement by Senator Amida without the tinge of politics that has been laced by the previous speaker, because I care for my neighbors. I lived in that estate for close to 10 years. Therefore, I know exactly what Senator Hamida is talking about. And it's really unfortunate if that is being done in this day and age, despite, one, the presence of a court order, two, and the obvious logic that you cannot put such an institution right at the doorstep of where people live, Mr. Speaker. I want to urge Senator Faki Mohammed, the chairperson of the Lands Committee, that Phenom Estate is only 15 minutes drive from Parliament. You don't need to hold this conversation in Parliament. Just at your next committee meeting, as you consider this statement by Senator Amida, take a drive and go and see for yourself, meet this contractor and find out from him who the hell does he think he is, that despite the existence of a court order, they still want to carry on with construction, Mr. Speaker. I know for a fact that many of those developments around Phenom Estate, Mr. Speaker, are actually built on public land, Mr. Speaker. And it's unfortunate that that has continued, Mr. Speaker. You know, we must speak the truth. These problems didn't begin yesterday. If I wanted to be political about it, Mr. Speaker, I'd say, we don't know who began this problem. But as leaders, we must have really trying to score any brownie points out of whatever situation it is. Therefore, Senator Faki, you hold the key to solving this problem, Senator Faki, on behalf of the people of Kenya and the people of Phenom Estate, Mr. Speaker. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the constructions that have been done there, while they're Faki, on behalf of users of Wilson Airport, look into that estate. The Nation, actually it was a Standard newspaper, did an expose, I think a month or two ago, on buildings that have been built so close to the runway that as a pilot is taking off, sometimes they have to dodge hanging lines, Mr. Speaker. What sort of madness is that we are encouraging in this country? Therefore, Senator Faki, I believe you're up to task with your committee. Help us. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, is just a comment on the statement by Senator Cherargei on KTDA. I saw some directors trying to address us from the press, Mr. Speaker, on challenges that are being faced by tea farmers in this country. We passed a law in this House in 2021, Mr. Speaker, which is not being implemented. I want to urge Senator Wakoli and the members of the Agriculture Committee to treat this matter with the seriousness that it deserves, Mr. Speaker. It is not possible in the 21st century that you pay tea farmers 12 shillings, Mr. Speaker, and just sit pretty and assume that we as their representatives are going to be happy and calm about it, Mr. Speaker. The employees that process tea in the West and the East, they all belong to KTDA. Therefore, they cannot tell us the quality of our tea, Mr. Speaker. It is the quality of the employees that they have sent to our factories. If they can't send competent managers to process tea better, Mr. Speaker, so that my farmers can earn better, then get the hell out of our factories, Mr. Speaker, so that we are able to earn decently. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Haj.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to take an opportunity to comment on the statement raised by the senator, the great senator of Elgeyo Marakwet, and to record my condolences and sorrow to the people of Chesongoch in Elgeyo Marakwet. Mr. Speaker, sir, on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Garissa County, we send our condolences to the people of Elgeyo Marakwet for the disaster that happened on the 1st of October. Mr. Speaker, sir, it was quite sad.
Honorable Senator, which statement are you drawing your comments from?
Elgeyo Marakwet.
No, it was made under 52(1).
My apologies. Maybe I can just conclude. Mr. Speaker, sir, on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Garissa County, I would like to send our condolences and to ensure the people of Elgeyo Marakwet that Kenyans have felt the pain. It is quite sad that we lost 26 Kenyans, 14 of which were young students. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Former chief in Marsabit, Chief Hussein Charvi, called me in regards to his son that was flown to Russia. Honorable Speaker, there is a recruitment agency here in Nairobi recruiting young, energetic youths from Kenya to Russia. They are being told, fortunately, the former chief told me his son is being taken to frontline. in the military, Russian military. And Honorable Speaker, I would want to urge the committee to do a thorough investigation, to ask the Ministry of Labor, ministry that deals with labor issues, to come before the committee and explain under what conditions people are being asked, young boys and girls are being flown to Russia. Honorable Speaker, the problem that is facing this country is people go to Qatar, young boys and girls taken to Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, and now Russia. Russia, they are not going to make money, they are going to be killed, to die in Russia. Honorable Speaker, the chief was desperate. He told me, please help me, bring my son back. If the ministry in charge of labor would have been doing their work properly, they would have known these agents, what are the agents doing? What are they doing? Who gave them the authority to recruit young boys and girls to go to Russia? Honorable Speaker, you know, and Kenyans know, the situation in Russia. The problem in Russia, there is food problem. Salary is very minimal. There is no, people who come from Kenya, who go there coming from Kenya, they are used to this weather, very nice weather. But if you go to Russia, there is cold, below 20 or what? How can they survive there, Honorable Speaker? So I want to support the statement by Senator Hamida. Please let us bring our children back. Let us take some action. I want the
Senator Faki.
Kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia taarifa mbili. Taarifa ya Senator Chute kuhusiana na hali duni ya uwanja wa kimataifa Jomo Kenyatta hapa Nairobi. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kweli kwamba kiwanja hichi kinazidi kudorora katika huduma, hususan kwa wasafiri wanaotumia uwanja huo mara kwa mara kama mimi. Mheshimiwa Spika, isitoshe katika kiwanja cha Mombasa kuna matatizo kama hayo. Ukiangalia katika eneo la wasafiri wanaosafiri hapa ndani, yani domestic, ule ukanda wa kubeba mizigo, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa muda wa zaidi ya mwaka sasa haufanyi kazi. Utapata wafanyaji kazi wanabeba mizigo kutoka kwenye ndege na kuiweka sebuleni. Baada ya kuweka kwenye sebule, wageni wanashindana nani atachukua mzigo wake mbele. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jambo la aibu kabisa, ikikumbuka kwamba Mombasa ni mji wa kitalii ambapo watu wanaoingia katika mji ule wanatakana wapate huduma zinazostahiki hali hiyo. Mheshimiwa Spika, vile vile katika uwanja wa Wilson, ile runway imechujuka kiasi ambacho hata ndege kushuka inakuwa ni shida. Juzi tulisafiri kwenda Meru tukitumia kiwanja kile, Mheshimiwa Spika, na hali yake ilikuwa si nzuri kabisa. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ipo haja ya kamati husika iweze kuzuru viwanja hivi na angalie zile huduma ambazo zinatolewa katika kiwanja kile. Mheshimiwa Spika, sehemu ya taarifa ya pili nilikuwa natuzungumzia ni taarifa ya Senator Hamida kuhusiana na Wakenya ambao wako Russia na ambao hatima yao haijulikani hivi sasa. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kweli vijana wengi ama watu wengi wamekwenda Russia kutafuta ajira, na mmoja wa hayo ni kijana kwa jina anayejulikana kama Adan, ambaye Abdi Shukri Hussein, mwenye pasipoti ya Kenya namba BK 710687. Mheshimiwa Spika, huyu alisafiri kutoka Ireland kwenda Russia kwa madhumuni ya kutafuta ajira, lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, mpaka sasa kijana huyo familia yake hawamjui yuko wapi, na tumejaribu kuzungumza na balozi ya Russia kule ya Kenya kule Russia, Urusi, lakini mpaka sasa hawajaweza kutoa taarifa kuhusiana na kijana huyo. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ningeomba kamati ya leba iweze kuangalia kwa undani zaidi masuala haya ili Wakenya wasiendelee kudhulumiwa na kupata shida katika nchi za kigeni. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Kinyua.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Kwanza kabisa nataka kuchangia taarifa iliyoletwa na Senator wa Marsabit Chute. Bwana Spika, uwanja wa kimataifa wa Jomo Kenyatta uko katika hali duni sana na hali ya kutamausha. Bwana Spika, unaposafiri kufika hapa utakuwa umetumia viwanja vingine, lakini ukifika hapa unaona hali yenyewe imedorora kabisa. Ukienda sakafu yenyewe, sakafu imechipuka kabisa. Ukiangalia paa zake Bwana Spika, wakati mwingine unapata hata zinavuja wakati kunanyesha. Kwa hivyo, na hiki ndicho kiingilio watu wakitoka katika mataifa nje, mahali ambapo wanafika, mahali pa kwanza ni uwanja wetu. Lakini hiyo inaonyesha ya kwamba hiyo ndio picha ambayo mtu anakumbana nayo ya kwanza. Hiyo si picha nzuri Bwana Spika. Unapata watu wamepiga line, wamepiga foleni hata kuingia choo Bwana Spika. Na ukitembea sehemu zile zingine unapata choo ni nyingi, hapo unapata ni choo kimoja. Na pale unapata watu wamepiga foleni na ilhali wamefika. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, kamati ambayo inahusika inapaswa kutembelea uwanja huo, na sio huo peke yake. Watembelee uwanja wa Moi ambao uko Mombasa, na vile vile uwanja ulioko Kisumu. Ukienda Marsabit, uwanja wa Marsabit huo si kama uwanja wa ndege Bwana Spika, ni milima na mabonde. Hata ndege kudua, hata ndege kutua, hata ndege kutua inakuwa ni changamoto Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, vile vile kuna mambo ambayo yanatisha. Bwana Spika, ukiingia katika uwanja huo, maandishi ambayo unapata yameandikwa pale, maandishi yanasema ya kwamba sasa unaingia katika sehemu ambao ufisadi haukubaliki Bwana Spika. Hiyo ni kana kwamba inasema kuna sehemu ambapo katika Jamhuri ya Kenya ufisadi unakubalika. Kwa hivyo hayo maandishi hayapaswi kuandikwa katika uwanja wetu wa ndege, kwa sababu mtu yeyote anayefika anakuambia kwamba ikiwa hapa hakuna ufisadi, kuna mahali ambapo tumekubali ufisadi ufanyike. Bwana Spika, kuna taarifa ambayo imeletwa na Hamida kusema upungufu wa wagonjwa upungufu wa madaktari wa afya ya akili. Bwana Spika, hili ni jambo ambalo linasumbua, kwa sababu kama jana nilikuwa katika mazishi ya kijana wa miaka 16 ambaye alijitoa uhai. Bwana Spika, tulipoangalia kwa zaidi, unapata ugonjwa huu wa akili umekithiri sana na watu waongee kuhusu huo ugonjwa. Kisa na maana, hata wale ambao wanahusika ambao wangekuwa akitibu ni wachache na hawapatikani. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, hili ni jambo ambalo tunapaswa kulishughulikia. Bwana Spika, umesema ya kwamba ndio nakubaliana na wewe tusitaje kuhusu taarifa ambayo ililetwa na Kisanga, lakini nikubalie tu niseme pole kwa wale ambao walikumbwa na hili janga na masaibu.
Senator Catherine.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to contribute to the statements by Senator Hamida on the matter of young people being recruited to Russia, and also on the statement on GBV. Honorable Speaker, I think the ministry concerned with labor has not done this House justice. If you check our records, Honorable Speaker, I think we have more than 10 statements raising concern about agencies that are recruiting our young people in a manner that is actually putting them into slavery, putting them in danger abroad. And I would want the relevant committee, our Committee on Labor and Social Services, to actually take this matter seriously, to summon both the Minister in charge of Foreign Affairs, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, together with the Minister for Labor, to actually disclose to us which are the agencies, who owns these agencies. We should actually disclose to try and find out who are these who are recruiting our children into these dangerous situations. I also have a case of a young girl in Saudi Arabia whose employer has taken her passport and they have refused to get her back. She was sick and the family wants to bring her back. I have raised the issue with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Up to now, I have not received any response. On the matter of GBV, Honorable Speaker, yesterday you saw me retreat on a question that unfortunately was amended. Honorable Speaker, issues of GBV are matters of safety and security. So what we need to do is we need to find the minister, how the Ministry of Internal Security are actually providing a mechanism to ensure that GBV, which is criminal, and where the first processing moment within the community is by officers of the Internal Security Ministry, we need to actually have this ministry to deliberately have a policy on how to deal with GBV. Honorable Speaker, I actually attended one of the Jukwaa la Usalama forums in Kisumu, and I would want to say, as a practitioner of the human rights-based approach, I want to applaud the CS for those forums because they provided an opportunity for open conversation on matters relating to security. And the issue of how people are handling GBV was actually raised. Honorable Speaker, we are allowing sociocultural practices to normalize criminal activities. Child marriage is being normalized in most of our communities. We have FGM is now back on the rise. So these issues, as what happened in Narok, where brothers are beating up a pregnant girl and forcing them to get married, are issues that should not be allowed. Finally, on Senator Osoti's statement, I would want to say the county governments must know that the rights, the labor rights of their workers remain constant. We cannot have a board which talks of a fraudulent payroll, and instead of sending home the accounting officer, they are sending home the officers who purportedly have benefited from that. We need to investigate this matter for the county to know that the Constitution holds the accounting officers accountable personally for facilitating the loss of monies.
Senator Jackson Mandango.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the statement sought by Senator Amida Kibwana on the construction activities along Langata Link Road, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a matter of great concern in this city, Honorable Speaker. And this stems from failure, first by the city county government of Nairobi in the approval process, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this city has been planned for residential purposes, high density, low density, medium density, commercial, industrial, public utilities, Honorable Speaker, and there is need for the county government of Nairobi to ensure that the city planning rules and regulation under the Cities and Urbans Act are properly followed, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before any construction commences, where the public are involved and is likely to infringe on others, Honorable Speaker, public participation needs to happen. Honorable Speaker, the courts have pronounced themselves several times on the matter of public participation, that the public participation process is not a cosmetic exercise just to regularize or sanitize a process, Honorable Speaker, but it should be a process that gives citizens the opportunity to give their honest opinions and views over a matter, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this construction infringes on the tenants and residents of Venom Estate, and Honorable Speaker, even the commercial use of Wilson Airport is going to be impaired by this project, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is sad to know that there are institutions, challenges, and we are going to urge the Committee for Lands under Senator Faki to carry out a thorough investigation in the approval process that's been happening in that area, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, around Carnival, from when you cross the bypass, Honorable Speaker, there is an estate there that was developed in a public utility. A community that says they were given a donation, a reward of a public utility, exclusively. Honorable Speaker, They have now extended that free donation to come and develop something that infringes on other citizens' rights. Honorable Speaker, if all of us would decide not to follow the law, the next thing we would do as residents of that place is take the law into our hands and make sure we get rid of those fellows in that side. But because we are law-abiding citizens, we would like them to respect the court decision, and we are asking the courts to also pronounce themselves on the content process and make it punitive.
Senator Boni Kalwale.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to seek for further clarification on the matter raised by the Senator of Nandi. The issue is discrimination that Kenyans practicing their industry outside the country are subjected to. The government of Kenya should not keep quiet when our athletes, who make the whole world happy with their stellar performance, are being discriminated against. The athletes who made the list of the Athlete of the Year 2025, Kenyans who are more deserving were not even given a chance to make the list. It doesn't make sense, Mr. Speaker, how Beatrice Jebet was not on the list, how Paris Chepchirchir was not on the list, but worse off, how Faith Kipyegon was not on the list. This smacks almost not only discrimination, but racism, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the world is still remembering what happened to Vinicius Jr., the superstar of Real Madrid from Brazil, a black boy. He was denied the Footballer of the Year award, otherwise known as Ballon d'Or, Mr. Speaker. Our government must make a formal complaint because this was also done last year. Mr. Speaker, the issue raised by the senator, nominated Senator Hamida about Kenyans in Russia equally deserves further clarification, because it looks like these days in this country, you either go to Qatar with your papers, you end there as a house servant and you get killed. Or you go to Saudi and the same thing happens to you. And now they are going to Russia and our people are being subjected to frontline activities in a war that we know nothing about. Mr. Speaker, we want to hear the mission, Kenya's mission in Moscow, making a formal complaint. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, we have hundreds of Kenyans now who have been arrested in Tanzania because they are accused of having incited Tanzanians in fighting for their rights during the rigged election. Mr. Speaker, a young boy, Frederick.
Give him 1 minute to conclude.
Thank you for that. A young lawyer and entrepreneur, Frederick Laurenti Obuya, who is a lawyer and he runs a tour company, was arrested. We demand that head of mission in Dar es Salaam should go tomorrow morning to Oyster Bay police station in Dar es Salaam, where this young man was last seen, so that from there he can then trace the way to where the boy is. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll just make a quick observation. One is the statement on the dilapidated situation of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Mr. Speaker, I want to agree that most of the airports and airstrips in this country are like ramshackles, Mr. Speaker. Especially JKI, when it rains, it floods all over, Mr. Speaker. I agree that going into the future, the face of every country is in the airport. Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is not qualified to be called International Airport. It should just be called Jomo Kenyatta Airport, because there is nothing international about it. And I think, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal because there was the issue of Adani and PPP. We need to ensure that we do private partnership and ensure even construct a new airport in Konza City, where there are many lands around Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. In some advance, Mr. Speaker, you have a terminal only dedicated for international travels. There is one for domestic travels, Mr. Speaker. I agree even if you go to Wilson Airport, Mr. Speaker, even the facilities within Jomo Kenyatta International Airport are very dilapidated. So I want to appeal and confirm to the country that under PPP, we must ensure that we come up with ultra-modern airport. You can see what Qatar are doing in Kigali, Mr. Speaker, in Rwanda. There are a number of them that are being, Mr. Speaker, that are being constructed courtesy of Qatar. We need to do PPP, get a new brand airport, even here in Konza City, so that this city can expand. And Jomo Kenyatta International, we cannot be talking, Mr. Speaker, about 3 million tourists per year. If we don't expand the runway in Eldoret International Airport, we function Isiolo Airport, we ensure Mombasa Airport meets, we ensure Wilson becomes proper because an emergency airport, Mr. Speaker, so that we can move forward. Finally, on the Kenyans who are fighting in Russia-Ukraine war, Mr. Speaker, you know, there is no mistake. Many people use what you call hired mercenaries. If those Kenyans have gone there on their free will to look to hustle, to participate in Ukraine-Russia war, so be it. It is not our mistake. We should allow Kenyans to do what they have to do within the law. And most of these are ex-military. Their trade is to be mercenaries for hire, Mr. Speaker. So we must allow if people want to go and ply the trade of being mercenaries in Ukraine and Russia, Mr. Speaker, they should be allowed, Mr. Speaker.
What is your point of order, Senator Kinyua?
Ex-military, Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, from our standing order 105 and the statement made, these are people who are misled, Mr. Speaker. They are not misled. Mercenaries are people who have done that willingly, knowing. These young people were misled into believing it was a good job they were going to do, because I've listened to some of them. Yeah, they were misled, Mr. Speaker. You are misled, Mr. Speaker.
Respond, Senator Cherargei.
Can I deal with him? The ignorance of the law is no excuse. Ignoration and maximia, Mr. Speaker. So I want to appeal those arguments that you can do in gardens. Because how can you allow yourself to be misled, Mr. Speaker? These are Kenyans. We have seen them speaking in media that they are earning very well. They have been contracted. They are ex-military. They have their contacts in Kenya, Mr. Speaker. We should allow Kenyans to do the business they like, so long as it is lawful. And they are doing a good job in Ukraine versus Russia, Mr. Speaker. If the only agreement I can do with that statement, if they have a distress call, they should ensure they contact the Kenyan embassy. But let them fight in Ukraine and Russia. Mr. Speaker, we have no business. Do you want us to manage each and every Kenyan, even into their bedroom and their kitchens? It is not the business of government, Mr. Speaker, to be following people around. This one must stop, Mr. Speaker, and I yield.
Senator Julius Murgor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also add my voice to the statement that was made by Senator Elgeyo Marakwet about the tragedy that happened. It is very sad. And
Senator Murgo, you cannot comment on that statement. Maybe another statement.
Oh. Okay, I concur with Cherargei about Russia. That is to say that people go willingly, knowingly, and then when they get stuck, yes, I'm speaking as chairman of Labour, because I have, practical examples that people make choices that hurt them later, but yet they knowingly do it. And so, the people that are stuck in Russia made those choices, and therefore they are reaping from their choices. And this is a lesson for the rest of our young people, not
to go just what we call ovio or anyhowly, but to make sure that they know what they are going for.
Senator Murgo, there's a point of order. What's your point of order, Senator Kinyua?
Bwana Spika, mimi nasumbuka kwa sababu huyu ndio mwenyekiti wa wafanyikazi. Kwa sababu yeye mwenyewe huwa anashughulikia taarifa zinazoletwa hapa kuhusu wafanyikazi ambao wamepelekwa katika uraibuni Saudi Arabia. Tofauti ni ipi? Kwa sababu wote walijua ya kwamba wanaenda kufanya kazi. Lakini sasa wale ambao wameenda Urusi tunasema hao walijua ni makosa yao, lakini wale wameenda Saudi Arabia katika nchi hizo zingine, hao tunafanya matatizo na tunasema serikali ifuatilie. Wote wanapaswa waangaliwe kwa njia moja, na serikali kwa sababu imezembea katika kazi yake inapaswa iangalie na tuache kupoa sababu na seneta wa Nandi, seneta wa West Pokot ambao wanasema kwamba wao walienda kwa hiari yao, wale wanaenda katika nchi zingine kwani waende kwa hiari yao. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Murgor.
Asante Bwana. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I can say that the difference is there is no record about any jobs in Russia that we know. This is, we are hearing about Russia for the first time.
One moment, Senator Murgo. What's your point of order, Senator Muma?
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the chairman of the committee that is supposed to analyze this report to actually make a conclusion on the floor of the House about a statement which he has not even analyzed? He is already making a conclusion about that statement instead of waiting to actually investigate. Is that in order for the chairman to do such a thing? Can Senator Hamida actually be assured that the chairman will step aside since he has already made an opinion without looking at the detail of that statement?
Senator Wafula, who do you want to inform? That was a point of order. Senator Wafula, Chair, do you want to be informed by Senator Wafula?
Yes.
Yes, Senator Wafula.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, na shukuru kwa sababu inayofanya hoja ziletwe kwenye bunge ni ili watu waweze kujadili, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na umuhimu wa jumba hili ni kwamba watu wana akili timamu na wana akili ambazo zinaweza changanua hoja yoyote, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na sitaraji kwamba kuna hoja ambayo inaweza letwa hapa alafu kiongozi wa kamati ambiwe wewe nyamaza mbumbumbu, kuwa tu kiziwi na usione chochote. Mwenyekiti yeye huongoza kikao cha wanachama ama wenye kikundi ambacho watatoa hoja, na walio wengi hoja yao itachukuliwa manani. Sasa sio haki, Mheshimiwa Spika, viongozi waanze kushurutishwa kunyamaza ama kupiga makofi. Haiwezekani.
Senator Mumo, what's your point of
Sio
order?
kwamba tunamuunga mkono, lakini watu wapewe nafasi ya kutoa hoja kibinafsi.
Honorable Speaker, my point of order is extremely serious. And I see that before you ruled, you allowed another point of order, but this is a statement that has been brought about a case, and a chair who will be presiding over the investigation has already made a conclusion.
Senator Muma, Senator Wafula stood on a point of information, not a point of order.
Thank you, Chair, for the correction. But I hope the House is getting my point, that this is the chair who will be presiding. How will he be able to preside neutrally to listen to what Senator Hamida has said when he has already concluded that this person went willingly?
Senator Cherargei, what's your point of information?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I want to assist. You know, freedom of expression, you know, chairmen of the committees are not gagged. They have a right to express their opinion under freedom of association and speech. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to your attention under Standing Order 104. Standing 104 says declaration of interests. Mr. Speaker, it says you can only declare interest on pecuniary or proprietary interest. It does not say when you are a chair of the committee, you must be precluded from commenting on a matter. When you look at the standing orders on the functions of labor and social welfare, it talks relate to manpower and human resource planning, pension, gender, and other things. It does not talk about that the chair must or should on the issues of exportation of labor or importation of labor, Mr. Speaker. So the chairman of labor, under freedom of expression, under freedom of speech, under Standing Order 104, and under the Senate standing orders, the chairperson of labor, Senator Murgor, Mr. Speaker, has a right, Mr. Speaker, and you need to provide to protect this, has a right to have freedom of expression on any matter. Unless you are telling us chairman should not comment, I have seen chairman.
Senator Muma, what is your point of order?
Speaker, Honorable Speaker, would you kindly ask the Secretariat to confirm to us if the chair of the Labour Committee declared his interest as a chair before he made any comment on this matter, noting that he will later sit to preside over conversation about the matter brought before him?
Cherargei, you had made your point of information. Okay, finish, Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, why are they restless? I will deal with Wamunyoro adherents now. Mr. Speaker, the declaration of interest understanding order 144 is very specific. It's only on pecuniary and proprietary. So unless you are telling us nowadays, before a chair of a committee speaks, he must say, I'm the chair of labor, but what I'm making as the senator of West Pokot. You need to rule on this, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, we are endangering into status of freedom of speech and expression, which we must protect jealously and violently,
Senator
Mr. Speaker.
Kinyo, what is your point of information or point of order? Yeah.
Bwana Spika, shida yangu ni kama mwenyekiti wa kamati ya leba kuunga mkono mastamshi yaliyotumiwa na Senator Wanandi, Senator Cherargei, alipoita vijana ambao wametoka Jamhuri ya Kenya mamluki. Hapo ndipo tuko na shida. Huwezi kuwaita vijana wa Kenya mamluki, kwa sababu mamluki ni wale ambao tayari wamekiri ya wanaonea kupigania nchi nyingine. Hawa ni vijana waliotoka Jamhuri ya Kenya, walitoka Jamhuri ya Kenya wakiwa wamehadaiwa kama vile ambavyo wengine huwa wanaenda. Hiyo ndio kuna shida. Bwana Spika, na kuomba umwambie Senator Wanandi aondoe hiyo jina kuita vijana wa Kenya mamluki. Hiyo ndio shida nilio nayo.
Senator Kinyo, kwani jina la mamluki si jina la bunge? Si lugha ambayo inaweza tumika kwa bunge? Namna gani? Kwa Wakenya? Nani alisema wewe tumika kwa Wakenya? Point of order yako sema Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, I think Senator Kinyua wants to mislead the Secretariat. Mr. Speaker, I want to rise on Standing Order 105. If Senator Kinyua wants to be fair to this House, under Standing Order 105 and 103, he should provide us with the information that shows that the hired ex-military mercenaries that are fighting Ukraine-Russian war was misled. Let us get the facts. If he can, is there any report to the police station? Is there any distress call to our embassies? Is there any registration or even in Red Cross? Have they gone to Red Cross in Ukraine and Russian war? Have they recorded any signal that they are in distress, Mr. Speaker? Can they give us the evidence, understanding Order 105, on the principle of accuracy of facts? From there, if that can be provided to the House, then we can challenge my brother, the chairs, Reverend Julius Murgor, the Senator of West Pokot and Chair of Labour, to provide us with the investigation. But as now, those are ex-military officers parting as mercenaries in Russia, Ukraine, and they should remain so, Mr. Speaker. In fact, when they come to Kenya, they must be detained.
Thank you. Thank you. What's your point of order, Senator Chute? Give the mic to Chute, Senator Chute.
Speaker, understanding Order 105, I have said earlier here, former chief in Marsabit Saku constituency called me last week and told me his son is in Russia. He was told that he's going to work in other fields, but he was now being taken to the front line. And our distinguished senator, Cherargei, is calling that young boy in Eton a mercenary. He must withdraw that statement, mercenary. The father of this son and the mother is crying in Marsabit. He cannot call. So you have to, what evidence does he have that these young boys are mercenaries? He should withdraw that statement, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Joyce Korir, what is your point of order?
I thought to mercenaries.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Is it in order for the Honorable Chute to just bring an allegations without a substantive, the statement is there, but there is no documentation that can assist this House in terms of ascertaining the facts. So we cannot just talk about the hearsay. Can he ascertain the fact? Can he give us the documents that can assist us in terms of knowing whether these people were sent by the agents that has been approved by the ministry, or they just went through the pioneer routes? Can we get the information, Honorable Chair?
Honorable senators, we will have to give an opportunity to Senator Murgo to conclude and wind up his submission. And I also want to rule, Senator Murgo, just one moment, I want to rule that as far as Senator Murgo sits in this House, he is a senator of West Pokot. When the matter is taken to his committee, he will resume his duty as the chair of the Labour Committee and as a committee. But as far as he's making his contributions here, he does not need to declare his interest on a matter of national interest. So we will allow him to proceed and make his submissions.
So mine, Mr. Speaker, is to say that our young people should be aware that there are intentions out there, so that they should not just be invited and go everywhere. If somebody says that there is a job in Siberia, there is no record anywhere that there has been anybody that has gone to take a job in Siberia. Therefore, they should be cautious and even seek and consult before they make that decision of going anywhere, so that we do not end up, with stagnation and all these accusations. So mine is to caution our young people and caution parents and everybody that they should seek consultation as to what is about where their young people want to go, because we can't be watchmen all over. People have to be careful, parents have to consult, parents have to ask about job opportunities, especially now that, about 500 young people are going every day. They should be cautious, parents should be cautious and ask. Thank you.
Senator Joyce Korir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to comment on the statement that has been brought up by Honorable Chute on the states of our airports, Honorable Speaker. And I want to confirm indeed that it is in a very bad state. And I want to say that it is high time that we allow this country to move forward in terms of making sure things are put in the right way. Because I want to say that at some point, though there was a misunderstanding or a flawed process in terms of procurement during the recent past where they were talking about renovating the airport. I want to say that the challenge that we have in this country is too much democracy, to an extent that even inviting the investors becomes a challenge. And that is why some of the investors are moving to the next neighboring countries to implement the same. Bearing in mind that there is a very big airport that is coming up in Rwanda, which was supposed to be constructed in this country, but because of the political goodwill, they were not able to implement the same infrastructure, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say that it will be prudent if we can allow, as a country, that the PPP be embraced, so that at least some of the projects which needs to be undertaken and undertaken on time. On the issue that has been raised by Honorable Hamida, the statement which has been raised by Honorable Hamida, I want to say, Honorable Chair, that let it not be just a statement that is going to be mentioned in this floor of the House, but I would want to request that let it be directed, the relevant committee and the relevant ministry should move with speed to make sure that the mushrooming construction that are happening along Langata should be controlled. They should have the legal basis. Then all of us, the Kenyans, are crying on the way they are doing things, and we are also crying as a house of oversight in terms of what is mushrooming, to an extent that they are even affecting the airlines. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that this one should be taken seriously, and I want to request that the relevant committee should be able to come up with a lasting solution that can even bring an answer to this House in terms of implementation of the same statement that can answer a series of questions for the Kenyans, because we cannot just wait. We need to leave a legacy as a Senate. We need to set the standard as a Senate. We cannot see an illegality and just mention it because it's a statement and we leave it that way. So, Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that we need to step up and do things the right way. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Godfrey Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to comment on two statements. First statement is on the issue of the deteriorating quality of services at JKIA, and of course, the challenges we are having there. Mr. Speaker, you know, a few months back, we had a national debate on whether we should have a new airport or not, and under what terms. I want to say that I think it's becoming increasingly necessary for us to either revamp JKIA or have a new airport, because we are going to lose business as a country. We have competing countries in Ethiopia. You have seen what Ethiopia has done in terms of the airport. It's probably the largest airport in Africa at the moment. Rwanda is also coming up with a very big airport. So very soon we are not going to enjoy the status we have enjoyed as the hub of Africa in terms of airspace because of the quality of our airport, JKIA. So I want to encourage the government to revive the ideas it had on coming up with a modern airport. I know we had a problem with the Chani deal, but the whole idea about having a modern airport was a good one. The only challenge was how it was being procured. So I think we need to go back to that and either improve the infrastructure at JKIA or have a completely new airport so that we continue enjoying our status as the hub of Africa. On the issue of Kenyans who are participating in the war in Russia, Mr. Speaker, I think this is a matter that needs to be investigated deeply because Russia is a superpower. And when we talk about superpower, we are talking about it being a superpower in terms of the military technology and also in the numbers of soldiers who are fighting for Russia. So I want to believe that there is more than meet the eye, and therefore I want to recommend that the committee that will be undertaking that investigation
Your 3 minutes are up, Senator Osotsi. 1 minute and conclude.
I don't think a responsible country like Russia and a big country like Russia can engage in such an activity. So we would want to have a thorough investigation, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora should be actively involved and give us answers as to what exactly is taking place. Russia, as a serious military country, cannot engage criminals to come and recruit for them fighters. That would be another thing altogether. So we want proper information, we want proper investigation on this matter so that we can protect the lives of our Kenyans who could be suffering in a foreign country, courtesy of criminals who have come to recruit them into undertaking activities which are crime-related. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Esther Okinyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to comment on the statement by Senator Cherargei that's calling for transparency and fairness across tea growing areas. And this is mainly focusing on KTDA, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issue on KTDA is not coming to this House for the first time. 2 weeks ago, I raised the same issue, and not so much has happened, whereas I know our counterparts in the National Assembly are beginning to conduct an inquiry. I wish there is a way we would combine this so that farmers can clearly see the issue on tea pricing is actually being looked at to a tune of 57 shillings, Mr. Speaker. This is an issue we cannot bury our heads into, and I want to call upon this committee to actually go and look at this issue critically so that we can come up with answers which can satisfy farmers who are putting a lot of their monies into tea growing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to comment on Mr. Speaker, these allegations are grave and need a serious inquiry to be conducted for us to know the true position, because Kenyan youth are gullible at the moment. People are desperate for jobs, and any opportunity which looks like is promising, they are likely to end up there, Mr. Speaker. So if indeed we have young people who are stranded in Russia because of allegations aforementioned, the relevant committee needs to go down and conduct inquiry so that we know the true position, so that our young people are not taken advantage of. Young people cannot be taken advantage of in this country and out of their country, Mr. Speaker. So this statement is very critical and deserves the necessary attention. I thank you.
Honorable Senators, we will have to rearrange the order of paper and also defer some of the Before we rearrange the order paper, we'll go to the next order. Clerk.
Order number 8, the Environmental Management and Coordination Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 66 of 2024, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the Environmental Management and Coordination Act and for connected purposes.
Honorable Senators, we're going to rearrange the order paper and also defer order number 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And we will go straight to order number 25. Clerk.
Order number 25, motion, report of the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, equal opportunity and regional integration on the implementation of the Senate resolution on the current state of the nation made on Wednesday, 24th July, 2024, resumption of debate.
Honorable Senators, this order is resumption of debate of the motion. When we adjourned, I think Senator Olekina had a balance of 10 minutes. And Senator Olekina is not here, so we will go to the next senator, Senator Joyce Korir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would want to really thank the committee led by Honorable Jute, the Committee on National Cohesion, Honorable Speaker, for the report that they have done for quite some time on the issue of gender representation and the issue of the 30% rule. Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that we've been able to have a number of counties. We've had a number of counties coming before the committee and presenting their documents. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, it is indeed a wake-up call that the chances of this country gave us as a nation. Honorable Speaker, when you try to look at the report, a number of them are not compliant when it comes to gender issues, when it comes to the issue of people living with disabilities. Honorable Speaker, you find a number of them as far much below the requisite percentage. For example, Honorable Speaker, you find with the people living with disability, a number of them are below 1%, which is still a challenge, because I know when you go through the data that has been collected by the ministry, you find there are a number of learned persons with disabilities who deserve to be given an equal treatment as Kenyans and as learned individuals. Honorable Speaker, I just want to say also that they also have a very big problem in terms of gender issue. You find a number of ministries, especially the one that we had yesterday, you find the percentage for the women is far much below the requisite percentage, Honorable Speaker. And it is not that they are not learned. It is a mode of advertisement that at some point disadvantages the people living with disability and the women of this country. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, as a committee, we've gone ahead in terms of making sure that we have a look at it critically on how best they do the advertisement to make sure that every part of this country, even where there is no network, get access to this advertisement or job advertisement and contract advertisement to be able to get access, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you find also in a number of counties, you find a number of elderly people that goes beyond the age of 65, and despite the fact that they are being allowed because of their technical advices, that is the professionalism and people living with disabilities, Honorable Speaker, there is a huge number that we've been asking them, Honorable Speaker, to give us a proper way of succession on a number of these counties and the parastatals and a number of departments that we've handled, Honorable Speaker, or organizations that we've, institutions that we've handled, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when it comes also to the issues of the tenders that are supposed to be given to the 30%, Honorable Speaker, it's a challenge in the sense that when you go for the contracts for the youth or the women, anybody can access this document, and you cannot ascertain whether the people who have been given these tenders are the women or youth. This is still a challenge that I want to ask this House. We need to come up with something that can really tell us that the person who is going to be given a certain contract is indeed a youth or a woman, because that is what the Act envisaged to assist or to correct. But as you speak now, it becomes difficult for the different agencies to really ascertain whether the people who are getting these jobs are the right ones, Honorable Speaker. When it comes to the issues of the representation, there is a challenge again in terms of the desegregation of some communities, which becomes a challenge, Honorable Speaker, in terms of making sure that the 30% is shared equally across the country. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that we have a long way to go. We need to really comply with the regulations and the acts that we've passed and the Constitution that gives rights to the citizens of this country to make sure that they are given chance to work in the various places that we have, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, without far much ado, I just want to say that we still have a long way as a country. We've checked the number of counties, we've checked the number of institutions, and we've seen a lot of shortcomings that cannot be addressed within a day. But we need to look at a way of making sure that things work and we are able to comply, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I don't want to labor much, but I want to say that I concur with the committee in a number of recommendations that they have made, and I would also want to urge this House that they still contribute. Let them look at the report, because we have a lot of reports. We have a lot of detailed reports that have been given by this institution, which can assist this House in making sure that things are done the right way, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you.
Senator Chute, I ask you to reply.
No, I want to contribute. Contributing. It was moved by. Contributing.
Did you contribute the other time?
Not yet.
Okay, Senator Chute.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me take this opportunity, first of all, to thank my members. We did a very good job. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, there was a motion by the majority and the minority leader in this House asking, that was on Wednesday, 24th July 2024, asking the Committee of National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration to look into issues that were raised by Gen Zs. Honorable Speaker, immediately after taking the task to do that, we invited some organizations, namely PPRA, Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, and National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, and Public Service Commission, PSC. We got information, documentation from these three organizations. Based on those three organizations' report, we invited 47 governors. Honorable Speaker, so far, the governors we invited who came before this committee had many challenges. The challenges we faced, number one, there are many. Most governors are having problems with employment because of the region. Let's say, for example, a county government that is coming, let's say, for example, a county like, let me give you an example, county like Kisumu. You'll find that county in Kisumu are employing mostly the Luo community. If you go to Kirinyaga, mainly the employees are the Kikuyus. If you go to Northeastern, you will find bigger percentage, almost 90% Somalis. So, Honorable Speaker, on that issue of employing the local communities, the law says very clearly you should not employ more than 70%. But the problem we are being faced with, Honorable Speaker, is that the people who live in Northeastern, for example, cannot go to Nyeri. One of the governors told us, because of the weather situation, because it's very cold, someone from Mandera, Marsabit, Wajir would not like to come to Mount Kenya region. Honorable Speaker, the other issue we are faced with majorly is persons with disability. Honorable Speaker, out of all the 47 counties, 1 or 2 have managed to employ people with disability of up to 5%. That is what the law requires, minimum of 5%, not 5% only, minimum of 5%. Those challenges, Honorable Speaker, are something that can be resolved. We've asked many governors to talk to National Council of People with Disability. There is a council. There are people who are supposed to be dealing with issues of people with disability. Most of them, this organization has got offices in many counties. And we've asked even the governors to consult the organization. They have a base in all the counties. They need to talk to those people and see how they can give opportunities to people with disability. Honorable Speaker, some buildings in some counties don't have accessibility for the people living with disability. That is another problem, Honorable Speaker. The other issue, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of age. Honorable Speaker, I want to say today that I want to commend the county governments. Unlike other institutions like parastatals, county governments have considered, in most cases, youths. And similarly, on the issue of youths, the other challenges the counties are facing are people who are aging. The staffs are now, most staffs, almost 20% are over 55 years old. And when we ask the county governments, what is the reason of having aged staff? The answer was we inherited former city council or municipal council or county council employees. And that is understandable and agreeable. Honorable Speaker, most county governments have implemented affirmative action, documented. And under Article 55C of the Constitution, it allows the county governments to make a program having a succession plan to how to employ, how to bring in young blood while you are releasing out those who are overaged. Let's say, for example, the law allows from 18 years to 60 years. Anybody above 60 should leave. But what they have done, some counties have given people who are over 60, up to even 70, contracts. And I will urge, and we wanted to ask the county governments, why do you give a contract to somebody who is at 70, while his grandson, who is an engineer like that person, is qualified, he is able enough to do that work? The other issue, Honorable Speaker, we dealt with is ethnicity. And we've realized majority of the counties have got over 1/3 of staff from dominant ethnic communities. This is an issue that needs this House to amend some laws so that there could be something like inter-county transfers. Let's say, for example, somebody from Garissa can go to Marsabit, somebody from Marsabit can be transferred to Garissa, and henceforth. So I think the best thing we can do as a Senate is to amend the law to allow inter-county transfers. Another issue we've observed, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of communities let's say, for example, the issue of communities having sub-tribes. If you look at Kalenjin, for example, the Somali, the Mijikenda communities, these are communities have sub-clans. Like Somali, you can find Ajuran, you can find Ishaq, you can find Majerten, you can find many. And similarly, in the Kalenjin community, you'll find many, many sub-clans. So that is also an issue that needs to be addressed. And we also observed that we need to consider undertaking post-legislative scrutiny of Section 7 of the National Cohesion and Integration Act, which restricts public establishment of having more than 1/3 of their staff from the same ethnic community in order to access compliance with the provision to be achieved. The other issue is the issue of executive committee members and the chief officers in terms of gender, persons with disability, and ethnicity. Honorable Speaker, I want to commend some counties who have taken an initiative to employ persons with disabilities in the executive committee members and chief officers. And we would want to encourage other county governments to do the same, to employ, at least give an opportunity to people who are disabled in the chief officer's position and ECEC position also. Honorable Speaker, the issue of ethnicity is a major issue. This is what we've observed. In some counties, Honorable Speaker, some marginalized communities are not being considered for jobs, specifically jobs like chief officers or the executive ECECs. So we recommend in this committee that under Article 27(6) of the Constitution, the marginalized groups also should be considered, not only for small jobs, petty jobs, for even higher position jobs like COs and also directors and deputy directors. We encountered issues of recruitments. For example, like Garissa. Honorable Speaker, we found that in Garissa, in a situation where the former governor left, the new governor who came in, I think because of ethnicity issue, sacked many, many employees of the former, the county government, which were employed by the previous government. And Honorable Speaker, this is something this House should deal with. The reason being is this. If you are looking at ethnicity, and Mr. Speaker, you are aware that in northern part of Kenya, or the northeastern part of Kenya, people largely depend on their communities to access to power. And then if a governor will ask former employees or the current employees of the employed by the former governor will be asked to leave, then how would they be having a cohesion? This should be dealt with also, Honorable Speaker. In addition, Honorable Speaker, you were asking the government, the county governments, to in compliance with Article 56C of the Constitution, read with Section 35 of the County Governments Act, when nominating and appointing county executive committees. This is something that has come up many times. Like Garissa, the governor took almost 2 years to recruit new COs and CECs. And that is what creates problems, because you don't want to work with the employees who are contracted by the former governor. So you just avoid employing new people or contracting the ones who are there in order to bring your own families, relatives, and clans. Honorable Speaker, we also noted that county service boards, they must ensure at least 30% of vacant positions. The 30% vacant position should be occupied by the people who are not dominantly in that county. How they are going to do it is very simple. The law is very clear, Honorable Speaker, very, very clear, that 30% should be from other regions. They can talk to their counterparts and advertise. Let's say, for example, Marsabit County can advertise in Garissa County, ring-fence it, and employ people from Garissa, Wajir, Mandera to come to Marsabit. And we have beautiful girls there. They can come and marry girls there. We prescribe to the same religion. That is what we need to see in this country. Honorable Speaker, you know, and this is something very serious, Honorable Speaker. There is a governor who came before our committee, and 98% of the CECs and COs are, by the way, 100% are from one community. And this is from Nyanza. And that is Senator Orengo's county. When they are going to conduct their meetings, they can just do it in one language. Why do they even use English and Kiswahili? Use your mother tongue. That is very serious, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say something, Honorable Speaker, very, very important. Out of all the governors we've seen, governor from Kirinyaga, Muranga, Governor Makueni, Governor Trans Nzoia are one of the best governors, document-wise, employment-wise, and taking care of youth, women, and people with disability. And I want to recognize and thank what they've done for their county. And I would want to urge other counties to go to those counties for benchmarking. Go and learn from them. Go and listen to them. Go and see what they are doing. Honorable Speaker, Governor Trans Nzoia put aside almost 100 million shillings for youths to access contracts. And he put a fund separately. If you are given a job in that county, you have an LPO, LSO, you go and borrow money from that fund. It's called Nawiri Fund. The Governor, Makueni, does some training for youths, women. And after they finish their training, they are given, youths are given mechanical things. If you are a mechanic, you are given tools, spanners. If you are a woman, you are given a sewing machine. If you are a plumber, you are given instruments to use. Okay, so I would want to ask other governors to go there for benchmarking. Finally, Muranga County. Something that he did. The elderly, over 70, he has given them card to go and access food in the shops. Who are those people who are not able to do any work, who are not able to access any funds? What he has done is quite commendable. And I would like, Honorable Speaker, this House to do some amendments that we've recommended in our report to see how people who are living with disability, those who have disability, women, and youth can access the county resources. Finally, I want to say one thing in a few minutes. On the Agbo side, Honorable Speaker, majorly, many counties have done very well. They have done very well. But if you look at how they manage the resources, the problem is payment to those youths, women, and people with disability. Number two is how they access the tenders. In some instances, those people who are able are using documents of somebody with disability to access tenders. And that is something that this House should look into and see how to amend some laws to make sure that those elements who are using people with disability to access tenders can be stopped. Honorable Speaker, finally, I want to thank the committee. I want to thank majority and minority leader for bringing up this motion. And thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I support.
Senator Karen Nyamu, make your contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to make my contribution to this motion by the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunities and Regional Integration, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the aim of the report was to find out how the counties are doing in terms of compliance of the constitutional provisions on equality, and especially when it comes to employment, opportunities of procurement, and other opportunities in our counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report speaks for itself in the findings that the committee found. When it comes to the 2/3 gender rule, very many counties are still not compliant. When it comes to the 5% provision by the Constitution on PWD, when it comes to all positions of appointment in the counties, we are doing very badly because only 5 counties have complied with that provision, Mr. Speaker. When it comes to regional integration, we have 80% of our counties employing people who speak the language that is dominant in that county, Mr. Speaker. And I want to commend the committee for the findings, but it is not enough that you recommend. The recommendations are good, but it is time that we enforced the findings, the recommendations of this committee. It is good that they have given a timeline of 12 months to 18 months so that all the recommendations are adhered to and implemented, Mr. Speaker. Equality is not just statistics. It's not about statistics. It's about a young graduate in Mathare who cannot access a public service job because they don't have connections or they don't have the right network, Mr. Speaker. It's about the woman in Mukuru, Kwanjenga, and Kayole, Dandora, who can qualify to supply in county governments, but is blocked by the procurement cartels, Mr. Speaker. And about the PWD in Dagoretti, for example, who does not need your sympathy, but needs doors open, doors of equality, so that they can also participate in nation building and in these tenders, Mr. Speaker. And so as a Senate, we must put our foot down so that this does not end at recommendations. We want to see implementation. We don't want to churn out beautiful reports out of the Senate that do not impact the ground, Mr. Speaker. We want to see a change, our people happily taking part in procurement in our counties and in nation building altogether, Mr. Speaker. And with those few remarks, I support.
I call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity also to reply to this very important report. Honorable Speaker, first and foremost, I want to take this opportunity and thank my able chair, the Honorable Mohamed Said Chute, for his able leadership. Chair, it has not been a simple task dealing with the 47 counties that came before this committee. Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, there are some issues that were raised by this committee that needs to be addressed. Honorable Speaker, before then, I want to, first of all, thank the following members who have ably contributed into this motion report, Honorable Speaker. First and foremost, I want to thank Honorable Cherargei for seconding this report. I also want to take this opportunity and thank the Honorable Ledama Olekina for also contributing into this very important report. Honorable Speaker, I wish also to take this opportunity and thank our distinguished Senator, Honorable Joyce Correll, Commissioner and Vice Chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission, for her exemplary job that she does not only in the Parliamentary Service Commission, but also to the Cohesion Committee. Honorable Speaker, I wish also to thank the Honorable Karen Nyamo for also ably contributing into this very important report. She has done a tremendous job for actually the comments that she has made. Honorable Speaker, there are several recommendations that as committee we have proposed, and I wish to say that those are very important issues that need to be addressed, and I know that the committee will do the follow-up to see to it that everything or every recommendation that was made is adhered to. With those few remarks, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, I wish to, under Standing Order 66.3, to request for deferment of putting of this question to a later date. Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply.
Honorable, thank you, Honorable Senator. That putting of the question has been deferred. Honorable Senators, we will arrange the order paper so that we go to order number 34. So order number 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 are deferred. Next order, clerk.
Order number 34, motion, installation of CCTV cameras in all police stations, cells, and police reporting desks.
Senator Karen Nyamo, that's your motion. Are you ready to move the motion? Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to move this motion, this very important motion on the installation of CCTV cameras in the police stations, in the police reporting desks, in all our police cells, in all the police stations across the country, Mr. Speaker. This motion is premised on the simple principle that justice must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done, Madam Speaker. Article 51 of our Constitution is very clear, and it states that all Kenyans in custody, police custody or in prisons, maintain their rights and fundamental freedoms that are provided in the Bill of Rights, except those ones that are not compliant with detainment, Madam Speaker. But we continue to get reports of police torture, police brutality, and mysterious death.
Senator Karen Nyamo, can you please begin by moving the motion? You have not moved the motion. You'll explain that, all that you will debate after you move the motion.
Madam Speaker, I thought I had done
Can
that.
you be guided by the clerk, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm guided, Madam Speaker. Motion, installation of CCTV cameras in all police stations, police cells, and police reporting desks.
Can you approach the clerk for a minute?
I am guided, Madam Speaker.
Yes, proceed now.
I beg to move the motion. Installation of CCTV cameras in all police stations, cells, and police reporting desks. Aware that Article 51 provides that a person who is detained, held in custody, or imprisoned under the law retains all the rights and fundamental freedoms in the Bill of Rights, except to the extent that any particular right or a fundamental freedom is clearly incompatible with the fact that the person is detained or held in custody or imprisoned. Further aware that the National Task Force on Improvement of the Terms and Conditions of Service and other reforms for the members of the National Police Service and Kenya Prison Service recommended adequate government funding for the National Police Service to modernize its facilities, equipment, and gear, and enhance its logistical and technological capabilities for National Police Service officers in order to enable the service discharge its mandate efficiently and effectively. Cognizant that the Bill of Rights provides for protection of human rights, prevention of abuse, and upholding the rule of law within the detention facilities and police stations, concerned that there has been increased reports of human rights violations, abuse, unexplained injuries, and deaths in custody, as well as security breaches and escapes from police cells across the country. Further concerned that despite the recommendations by the Justice Maraga Task Force, little or no efforts have been made to ensure modernization of police cells by installation of closed-circuit television, CCTV cameras, and police reporting desks, thereby affecting public trust and accountability in what happens to persons in police custody. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the national government, through the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, installs functional, tamper-proof CCTV cameras in all police stations, police cells, and police reporting desks across the country. Ensure that all CCTV systems are monitored in real time and that footage is securely stored and made accessible during investigation and judicial processes, and provides that the necessary resources, technical support, and training to the law enforcement officers for the effective operation and maintenance of CCTV systems and continuous digitization of their current occurrence book platforms. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, even though the Kenyans in custody are protected under the Constitution by Article 51, the reality continues to paint a painful story of police brutality, police harassment, and mysterious death in our police cells, Madam Speaker. And I want to give an example of a case that was very publicized, a case that broke all our hearts, witnessing firsthand a family who to date does not know exactly what happened to Albert Ojwang in Central Police Station, Madam Speaker. when we do not have any visual evidence, any CCTV cameras, what we call in the streets or in informal setups, evidence kwa kalatas, Madam Speaker, it becomes your word against my word, and in that, when in that confusion, justice evaporates, Madam Speaker. I want to paint a different picture where there's a case where there's the presence of CCTV footage. In the same incident, when speculations were flying high, we happened to lay our hands, or we saw in the media, a CCTV footage of what happened in Bagathi Hospital, Madam Speaker. And it is that footage that gave direction, even though not conclusively, because we still do not know exactly what happened at the police station, but it gave that matter direction, Madam Speaker. And I want to say, this motion is not anti-National Police Service. It is not anti-police. It is pro-justice. Because many a times, honest police officers have been falsely accused of, as scapegoats, by more senior police officers, so that they can bear the brunt, while the real perpetrators go scot-free, Madam Speaker. And that's why this motion protects neither it doesn't protect the one side only, the victim. It protects also the police officer in incidences where they cannot be accused falsely. Mr. Speaker, some people will argue that installation of CCTV is an expensive exercise. But, Madam Speaker, the national government spends millions in compensation where police officers are accused of police brutality, and a Kenyan goes to court and they are given a reward that the national government has to settle. The CCTVs will act as a preventive tool, and therefore saving the government a lot of money. As an implementation, we can face it bit by bit, so that we start with the major police stations in the major towns, and we scale it until it goes to the whole country. We can utilize the budgets that already exist for security and for the digital budget, and we can also have PPPs, private-public partnerships, so that we ensure that all our police stations have cameras in them, Mr. Speaker. There is also concerns of the privacy concerns of having cameras in a police cell, Mr. Speaker. To that, I want to say, you're not putting cameras in the sensitive places, not in the bathrooms, in the common areas, on the corridors, in the cell, the holding area, and just at the reporting desk, Madam Speaker. There's also the issue of, or the fear that police officers are going to be able to tamper with this CCTV footage, especially when they are guilty, so that they don't get accused or charged, Mr. Speaker. And to that, I want to say, technology these days, the footage, the CCTV footage can be tamper-proof, time-stamped, and have all the security features that go with the latest technology, Madam Speaker. On the handling of CCTV, it will be handled by police bodies like IPOA, and any police officer accused of destroying a CCTV or tampering with any CCTV footage will be guilty of a criminal offense, Mr. Speaker. This motion is also in line with the National Police, the National Task Force on Police Reforms and prisons, the Maraga report, where the recommendations was that we have to have CCTVs in police stations, the police have to have body cams anytime they are arresting Kenyans, to ensure that there's transparency and fairness and justice, because many a times when Kenyans are dealing with police, it's usually in a very vulnerable situation and a bit tense. Madam Speaker, like myself, if the police summon me, I can tell you most likely I will not go. And not because I'm a senator, even before I was a senator. And there's a case in point where I had an issue with my business partner, and I did some forgery to a document, and the police summoned me. I was not a senator then, and I told them they better look for me and arrest me, but you cannot summon me and I come, because of the culture and the fear and apprehension of the kind of place a police station is. But if there was CCTV in police stations, they have the confidence, and Kenyans have the confidence that the police station is a safe place, that they can go there, nobody has to bribe, or because even as you bribe, the CCTVs are capturing. And so it's also ultimately about the culture change of our country. With the presence of CCTVs in all our police stations and body cams on our police officers, it's going to have a complete culture change of our police force, and it's going to end up being very professional and have best practice also for the police officers, Mr. Speaker. So the presence of CCTV cameras in police stations is not a luxury. It is a necessity for justice. It makes investigations easier, Mr. Speaker, and it will have an overall change, like I said, to our police force. And so I want to urge this House to adopt this motion. Let us show Kenyans that we are pro-justice. Let us shed light in the dark areas of our police force, in the dark areas of what is unknown. Let everything be on the table. Let us have nothing to hide, Madam Speaker. And I know the CS for security made a directive that we should have CCTV cameras in our police stations. But Madam Speaker, that is a directive that was made when emotions were running high, when we had the issue of Ojwang, right? In case there's a reshuffle in that cabinet position, and we have a new CS who does not think that it is important to have CCTV cameras in police stations, for that reason, this House must go on record, and we have to give a timeline as provided as we will decide in the debate, what will come out from the debate of this motion, so that we have this firmly recommended and we pass it as a House, not just a directive by a CS where we don't have a follow-up. What happens next? What are the timelines? Will it take forever? And so, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Who is seconding? Can you indicate for record purposes who is seconding that motion?
I want to request my friend and Nandi Senator, Senator Cherargei, to please come and second.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. From the onset, I want to commend Senator Karen Nyamu, popularly known in the streets of Nairobi as Karenzo, for moving this motion ably. I want to thank her, Madam Speaker, as I rise to second, that this is a very timely motion. So, Speaker, from the onset, this motion is not anti-police. What we want to create is to create what Article 244 of the Constitution 2010 was envisaging. Madam Speaker, you are aware one of the tenets of Article 244 of the Constitution of Kenya, the National Police Service, that is why we transform from National Police Force to National Police Service. One of the functions and objects of National Police Service, Madam Speaker, is professionalism. We want to make our police service professional. We want to make it transparent. we want to have it what we call international policing standards, Madam Speaker, that is of police, Madam Speaker. Kenyans sue police whenever, and I have heard the mover of the motion, Senator Karen, saying that even if she was to be invited or to be summoned by police, not likely to appear because there is that perception that the police are not friendly, that they are rough. We want to ensure that we bring accountability in the police service, we bring professionalism, we bring transparency. And therefore I agree that the CCTV cameras must be installed in all police stations in the Republic of Kenya for only two things, accountability and transparency. Madam Speaker, the mover has alluded to the unfortunate death of Albert Ojwang, Madam Speaker, and still commiserate with the family, Madam Speaker. I know the child and the wife will grow without a husband and the father, but we pray that justice must be achieved. Madam Speaker, the only saving grace in the prosecution, although I know and I'm aware of the principle of not discussing a matter in court, but just to mention in passing that one of the key ingredients of prosecution in that case, Madam Speaker, is the CCTV cameras that were retrieved in Central Police Station, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, are you aware, according to the reports that have been published, for the last decade, more than 20 Kenyans have died in police custody or detention, Madam Speaker. Those are sad statistics. Madam Speaker, you are aware even the latest, apart from Albert Ojwang, there was someone, Warui, somewhere in Coast, Madam Speaker, in Mombasa, who died in police custody. A number of them, Madam Speaker, 20 Kenyans have died in police custody for the last decade, from 2013 to 2023, and that has been shared as a crimson, Madam Speaker. Therefore, the aspect of this installation of CCTV cameras in our police station is a good thing, Madam Speaker. We want to know. And even, Madam Speaker, we need to modernize and use technology, Madam Speaker. I know you are one of the learned senior and SG emeritus of UDA. You realize judges are still using shorthand while the technology has advanced. We need also to ensure the occurrence book, the OB in our police stations, is also digitized. Madam Speaker, you know, in the case of Reg Masai, the reason the inspector in charge of Amori was arguing that the writing in the entry of the Amori was interfered with, because it is not digitized. So if we have to digitize police records using CCTV, using the occurrence book, using the Amori, Madam Speaker, it will be easy to track even the clock in and clock out of police officers. You remember there was a push and pull during investigations in the Albert Ojwang case, because at that point somebody was saying Deputy OCS was on duty, OCS was on duty. Madam Speaker, we need to use the police. We want a police that meets international standards of policing, as per the standards that have been put, Madam Speaker. And therefore, we want to say, Madam Speaker, having been, Madam Speaker, you are aware of my record in a number of, during the last session, I was a regular custodian, or I was a regular guest of the police, Madam Speaker. I think I shudder when I saw the death of Albert Ojwang, Madam Speaker. I was worried, because I have been arrested severally. I have been prosecuted severally, Madam Speaker, in the police station, not because I have touched any Kenya's resources, because of my love and undying support of the then Deputy President, who is the current President, Dr. William Ruto. I have slept in a number of these police stations. I am a witness that even as we talk about CCTV, Senator Karen, we must also talk about upgrading the facilities within the police station. I have slept in many cells in Bungoma, here in Nairobi. Madam Speaker, when you enter into a police cell, it stinks to high heavens. It's so dirty. The paint is one of these 19 Ketichini, Madam Speaker, sorry to use that. It is the washrooms. People are still using the buckets within the cell, Madam Speaker, to relieve themselves. It is so pathetic. The place is so dirty that even as we put CCTV, we must ask the National Assembly to deliberately allocate funds to National Police Service to modernize our police stations, Madam Speaker. Our police station should be the safest place on earth, because it has been guarded 24 hours through surveillance of the police and CCTV, Madam Speaker. So as I speak, I think we need to be honest, Madam Speaker, because going into the future, we must, even when you go to a court, you can demand, because, Madam Speaker, the only way, number 3, the only way to fight police brutality is to have CCTV. Say that if an accused comes before you as a judge and alludes that or alleges that he or he was tortured in police custody, we can even use CCTV as part of the evidence in the courts of law and find out whether the accused or the suspect was either tortured or taken into, mistreated by the police within that police, within the police, Mr. Speaker. This also, Madam Speaker, you know, on several occasions, I've called out Independent Policing Oversight Authority for non-action on what the police officers are meted brutality on Kenyans. You remember the 2024 June protest. You remember the other days, Sabasaba anniversaries, and many other in situations, including my own in Nandi 3 weeks, 1 month ago, where 2 people were killed through the police bullets, Madam Speaker. Even a motorbike was shown 6 police bullets, Madam Speaker. Even a number of my people in Kimwani, Tindre sub-county were injured through police brutality. It will be easy if we can get those CCTV footages in for prosecution by IPOA. Even the other day, yesterday, Madam Speaker, when the issue of Tindre MPS branch called Shadrach Maritim captain was people were demonstrating, the police allegedly used live bullets in quelling the demonstrations and tear gas canisters, Madam Speaker. We must be ensured so that we assist, Madam Speaker, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to do their job is by giving CCTV footage. In fact, what has given the strength, in my own opinion, as a lawyer in this country, Madam Speaker, in most of the prosecution, especially in Albert Ojwang case, because this is a public case, is based only on CCTV that has been obtained, among other factors, Madam Speaker. So the issue of IPOA, it will assist our IPOA to strengthen their case and be able. Madam Speaker, it's not expensive. They say if you think justice is expensive, try the opposite. The only way to achieve justice is to get evidence. And in fact, Madam Speaker, the mover has made a very pregnant point by saying that this will assist the police also. The police should welcome these reforms of installing CCTV cameras, Madam Speaker, in our police stations, including Kapsabet, Mosoriat, Soba, Songo, anywhere in Nandi and across the city, Madam Speaker. You know why it will assist the police? So that the police, Madam Speaker, you remember, even in the investigations of Albert Ojwang case, and it was in the public, Madam Speaker, people wanted to place police officers who are off duty to be part of the suspects. But if we get CCTV footage, we will be told who the police was on duty or who was on duty. In fact, the issue of CCTV will assist the police. Because if a suspect goes to court before you as a judge, Madam Speaker, and I think by now you are qualified to be appointed a judge of the Republic of Kenya, when a suspect lies and says he had been tortured, you just order the police to produce CCTV footage, and it will absolve them from the blame of police brutality or torture within the police cells. So police must and should welcome. I think in Maraga reports, Madam Speaker, I agree these are part of the reforms. I want to request the mover with a possibility of amending to include body cameras to be worn by the police. That is the only way. For example, if the arrest of Albert Ojwang, if the police who went to arrest him were wearing body cameras, if the police who arrested the protests in June 2024, and even the other protests across the country, Madam Speaker, and the police are wearing body camera, it is transmitted and recorded. That one will absolve the police from the blame. Because whenever they go and arrest you, and they are wearing body camera, they can record everything. You know, Madam Speaker, some of the suspects and some of the suspects and some of the accused people are not friendly to the police. They are rough. So even if those people want to shoot the police or attack the police with a machete or resist arrest, it will be easy for the police because if they want a body camera, it will be easy to produce in court before the judge, Madam Speaker, and tell the judge when we went to arrest Senator Cherargei, for example, he resisted arrest. Then we can say play the footage as part of evidence. And you know under Cap 8 and loss of evidence, Madam Speaker, the principality is admissibility. And of course, if body cameras will be authentic and can form part of basis of evidence with a serious probative value before the prosecutions in a court of law, Madam Speaker. So I'm saying the police should welcome, we should go further and ensure apart from CCTV, we also include body cameras. Police should wear body cameras before arresting suspects when they are quelling demonstrations for Madam Speaker, even another point, we must ensure the police vehicles are also fitted with dash cameras. The dash cameras so that they record when they come and arrest you. When there is evidence, Madam Speaker, they must have a dash camera that can record the events or being driven from one point to another, Madam Speaker. The fifth point I want to make, Madam Speaker, is on the Maraga report. On the issue, this one because I'll move fast so my colleagues can contribute, is we are aware, Madam Speaker, And I want to speak to our police officers that we are aware most of them suffer from mental breakdown because of overwhelming duty, Madam Speaker. Some of them suffer from harassment from their seniors, including sexual harassment. And I hope the gender desk within police station are noting that. Madam Speaker, some of them are being overwhelmed. Some of them are in far-flung areas, far from their families. You can find a police officer comes from Nandi, but he works in Wajir. You can imagine it will put a strain into the marriage of most of these police officers. There is mental anguish. There is issue of salary, Madam Speaker. There is issue of housing, Madam Speaker. You are aware, Madam Speaker, when I grew up in Mosoriot, in Chief's Camp, the APs, the administration police, they use this thin round like, I don't know whether it is in Muranga. And can you believe, Madam Speaker, under this thin round, you get there 2 or 3 police living, and they are using only a bed sheet to separate them. And one of the officers is single, another one is married, another one is maybe a drunkard. Madam Speaker, you are risking that family. Because when the married police officer could be on night duty patrol. The one single can patrol the wife of the one, Madam Speaker, that is on duty, which will bring strength. And that is why you have seen police killing themselves, Madam Speaker. This is a reality that we must speak to it. So I think the Maraga, and I want to appeal to President William Ruto, that even as we do affordable housing, I think also we must be deliberate to ensure that within the police stations, we must put in place affordable housing units so that the police can live with dignity, Madam Speaker. How can you expect a police to work when they are living in timber-like houses, in houses that they share? There is no privacy. How do you expect them to work? And that is why the frustration police have, they have to give it to somebody. And somebody is the ordinary one age. We need to be that, and that is issue of mental wellness. Number 3, Madam Speaker, is on the issue of salary. We must review the salary. How can we pay civil servants more than the police? Madam Speaker, the reason you sleep soundly in your house is because there is a police officer outside the house. The reason we work even at night, people calavant and perambulate within the city. The local, I know this is the age of your children, Madam Speaker, wanapiga sherehe, allow me to use that slang word, or they are on reverend within the city or our major cities. The reason you are moving freely is because of the sacrifice. It's because of the surety of the police who work day and night. Madam Speaker, even when we move outside this house, when it is rain, you find traffic police officers braving the rain, controlling the traffic, Madam Speaker. It is we must sacrifice something. So on the issue of salary, Madam Speaker, we must ensure the police, even allowances. I was told some police even are not reimbursed whenever they appear before the interviews, Madam Speaker. And I'm happy the Senator of Nairobi captured that yesterday during question time with the CS of Interior. It must be rectified, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, finally on the police insurance, on the health insurance, Madam Speaker, we must ensure they get proper insurance. And I hope the Social Health Authority are listening to the issue of SHA so that police can get medical care, Madam Speaker. We don't want the police, Madam Speaker, their lives are high risk. By the time they come home in the evening, it is by God's grace. Because the work they do is high risk, we should ensure that they get the best medical care. And they should have insurance that they can access the best hospitals in this country. Aga Khan, Nairobi Hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital, Mbagathi Hospital, top of the top. Even it means they need to be flown outside the country. They must and they should be flown outside the country, Madam Speaker, to ensure, Madam Speaker, to ensure they get best medical care, Madam Speaker. So to the police, we are saying let us make, as per Article 244, transparency, accountability. The only way we can do is embracing technology. Let's fit those CCTV cameras in the police station. Let's get the police have body cameras. Let's fit with the police cars or motor vehicles with a dash cam to ensure they record each and everything, Madam Speaker. So with the prayers, I agree, and I want to thank the Senator of Nairobi, Senator nominated, Senator Karen Nyamu, for able, and you know, Madam Speaker, in conclusion, many people misunderstand Senator Karen Nyamu. By the way, I think because, you know, Karen Nyamu is a free spirit. And I know many Kenyans will be shocked that Senator Karen Nyamu was moving this motion. Many people don't know Karen Nyamu is a lawyer and an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. And therefore, she's doing what is supposed to be done at Article 96. And I hope, Madam Speaker, because as she comes to reply, I hope, Madam Speaker, that as she runs for an office of Nairobi Women Representative, the people of Nairobi must give her a chance to serve this nation. You have to appreciate, Madam Speaker. Even I saw you on a lighter note. I want to thank you for finding time with your colleagues of Kewosa, although I was there to come and celebrate the beautiful nuptials between Senator Chesang from Trans Nzoia and his beloved fiancée, Madam Speaker. It was wonderful. And the president even found time to be with us. Madam Speaker, I didn't recognize you guys that day. You, Senator, sorry for using you guys. You were beautifully dressed, Madam Speaker, because I knew very well that I didn't expect, and that was the beauty that we needed to see coming from the senators. That's the unity. Beyond here, we are together. We are one family. There is a point of order, Madam Speaker.
I believe there is none. Proceed.
You wanted
Senator Chiradike. Is there a point of order, Senator Karen? What's the point of order?
Point of order, understanding order 41. Madam Speaker, we do not have quorum in the House. We can ring the quorum bell.
Clerk, can you confirm whether we have quorum? Ring the quorum bell for 5 minutes. Please ring the quorum bell again for 5 minutes, Sergeant at Arms. Clerk, can you confirm whether there is quorum? Honorable Senators, having failed to attain the quorum at the expiry of 10 minutes, the Senate stands adjourned pursuant to Standing Order 41-2A until Tuesday, 11 November 2025 at 2:30 p.m.